Hashtag.
The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters. We're going to bring you the news, interviews, of course, of your favorite brews. I'm Dan Baker, and I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and, of course, the demented and fermented.
Wayne Baker. I just found out why I'm not an audio engineer.
It's okay. It's okay. It takes years of practice.
One of our guests might be deaf now.
Well,
What?
What?
exactly. We are. I'm happy to be back here. We're getting naked.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we are. We're at Naked Brewing. We're in Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania, and it's been quite some time since we have been here, and I'm very happy to be back. And of course, the night is already off to a fantastic time with plenty of shenanigans, and we wouldn't have it any other way. But we have, as is relatively customary here, a lively panel of guests. Now, if you guys wouldn't mind going down the line, starting with
Sean.
and
Jim.
and
My name's Kevin Riley.
and last but not least,
And Dave.
oh, guys, thank you, and lady, thank you for having us out here. It's been a long time coming, and I realize it's been about 2 years since we were
If you were
here.
paying attention, 3 of them don't have last names. That's why.
That's true. That's true.
I'm like Cher. Sean. That's all
you
you
only
need.
need one.
Madonna.
I'm just getting ready to get rid of my first
Gaga.
name to it.
And I gave a false name, so it doesn't matter.
All right, so none of this is traceable.
It's O'Reilly.
Fantastic. It has been about 2 years since we were here.
Wow.
Because I was getting ready for my friend's wedding, and that was about 2 years ago.
Are they still together?
Yes. In fact, they're
Perfect. Good.
expecting twins.
Fantastic.
I know.
It's
Good to know
been
they jumped right into it.
Yeah, they right off the deep end.
1 week since you looked at me. No, it's been 6 years since our first recording here ever.
Since the first time, yeah.
It was a very early episode, yeah,
Yes.
and that was still like when I think about like my favorite episodes in the like almost decade
Oh,
we've been
yeah,
doing the
for
podcast.
sure.
That's that's on the top of it. Well,
Thank
not
you.
at the top. I mean, you know,
I-
I'd have to
That-
think about that, but it's
Understand.
That
it's
was
near.
the best group photo we ever took
Yeah,
of
yeah,
people
yeah.
on the show. So if you don't know, go back to our website and Google it and look at the photo.
Dan and I were playing guitar and drums at the end of the night. You guys
Oh,
had an
yeah.
electronic drum
that's
kit
right.
We did.
and a guitar. Yeah, that was fun.
Yes.
Kind of like a Jimmy Kimmel kind of thing? You
Yeah,
know, like,
yeah,
with
only
the
like
roots?
terrible.
Yeah, that's...
Well, speaking of the website where you can go find these things, that, of course, is beerbusterspodcast.com. You want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Beer Busters, and there's also Facebook. We are Beer Busters Podcast. And if whatever app you are choosing to listen to this on, whatever platform this is beaming into your ears, throw us a rating and review, and whatever podcast you listen to, throw them all a rating and review. We all kind of deserve it. Hopefully, you're going to give us a good review, but be honest with yourselves. and others.
Unlike on platforms like Yelp or Untapped per se, your opinions on podcast platforms are actually very important
Yes.
and valued.
No one cares about your opinion on Untapped. Don't rate shit. Don't make
Yeah, just
comments
use it to
unless they're
catalog-
witty and
You
funny.
see,
I use it
Kev?
for the menus only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I pay
amazing.
$500 a year just for the fucking
Oh,
menus.
$500 a year. Hashtag not a sponsor
Not
or
a
ever
sponsor.
going to be. Oh, well. Burn that bridge.
My beer last
Yep.
year.
Can we talk about this beer before
Well,
we get
we
started?
also need to
So
remind
good.
people to go to Patreon.
Patreon.com/beerbusters. That's
Yes.
like the best. Yeah, we want to get paid. We want to get
great
paid.
platform.
Yes,
Everyone
it
wants
is.
to
It
get
really
paid.
is. We have a lot of bonus content up there. We've got a good back catalog of bonus content. We've got Last Call. We've got punishment videos. You get like advanced information about upcoming recordings, secret basement recordings that only our patrons get invited to. It's kind of like a cult, but not really. But yeah, check it out. Patreon.com.
Is that where the punishment occurs, in the basement?
No, the punishment
I know
occurs
the
wherever
basement.
we go. They're just
You're
more.
going to be punished tonight, Jim.
Yeah, they're a
I
little
hope
more
so.
dire in the
I've been a
basement.
bad boy.
Thank you.
May I have another?
50 Shades of Naked.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We were just spitting out the episode titles left and right. I got to start writing these down, man.
Yeah.
That's
well,
how we come up with beer names.
Yeah.
And then we forget 99% of them. So.
So it's a good thing you're writing them down.
We might need to start another list like we did.
Yeah,
Probably,
Ethan never
yeah.
uses our beer names.
because he's a jerk.
Yeah, jerk.
Anyway, yes, let's talk about the beer.
This beer is fucking amazing.
Yeah, we're sipping on a Czech Pilsner.
I have not taken a sip of that yet. I just got that cream ale that you guys started me off with.
Nice.
Noise.
The buck naked.
Gung, 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 gung. I got to do the sound effects
Oh,
of Dave
sorry.
Corn's
Okay.
beer.
So this is the Lemmy check?
Let me
Is
check.
that what
Lemmy
we're
check, yeah.
all right. So tell us a little bit about this beer.
It's
Besides the fact that it's delicious.
pretty much a traditional Czech Pilsner. Pilsner malt. Really not much crazy stuff going on in the malt bill. All Saaz, dry hopped with Saaz, and then conditioned for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a no frills, no nonsense, straight up Czech
Traditional.
Pils.
I mean, which is
fucking
a little
delicious,
different
right?
than
Yeah.
what we've done.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, for most of our, being around, we kind of took these styles and did them with, North American grains and hops. So we took some of the European styles, especially in the beginning, the freckles and stuff like that. And said,
Right.
all right, well, how do we do these without necessarily Marisot or some of the noble hops and stuff like that? So to go back to this, and we're like, all right, let's actually do a traditional Czech
Right.
Pils with the Saaz. I'm like, all right. So
Has this been a popular one for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're running through a lot of it.
nice.
Yay.
We're always happy to hear that because
Off the charts, yeah.
we love the beer flavored beers, and this is a good one. Great beer to start off with.
Well, we all kind of say that when you go into a place, you say, all right,
What's your
I
lager?
judge a place by what's your lager?
Hell
What are you
yeah.
doing? What are you doing clean? Because if you can do that right, should be impressed by the rest of your stuff. Too,
I agree.
so.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Is this the only lager you guys have on? I'm looking down the list.
Presently,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
We had a Pilsner.
Yeah, we
another
we
Pils.
did a German
Märzen.
German Pils was
Märzen,
a few months ago, and then we always do our Märzen for Oktoberfest. It's
Right.
the Naked Fest beer. We'll be doing some more lagers going forward. So whenever we have the tank space,
I was going to say it's probably a limitation of
I mean,
your fermentation.
when you can go and turn around, like a haze bomb, with a shit ton of hops. You can go and turn it around in 17, 21 days, something like that.
Mm.
And then, lager, it's like, is it done yet? It's been 5 months.
Yeah.
No.
Not quite.
As I'm sucking from the tank, is it done yet? Right? Yeah.
So that's why my yields are so low.
Hashtag suck this wickle.
Suck that.
Suck the Zwickle.
I love it.
Please make sure you spray it before and after.
I need a shirt that says that.
Suck this wickle.
Suck this wickle.
Well, I know we have a lot that we are going to get into, so why don't we do this? Last episode, some news had just broken prior to recording about a cherished local brewery that was ceasing operation. Ceasing? Is that a word?
Ceasing. Ceasing would be
ceasing.
like
Ceasing.
not
yeah,
moving.
Ceasing.
Ceasing is stopping.
Not seizing, but
Ceasing. It's like seesaw. Ceasing.
Yes.
Ceasing,
Well,
ceasing,
Stouts Brewing Company
ceasing.
may be closing, but the beer, in fact, will live on, and not just in the hearts and minds of its supporters. Though the iconic Adamstown Lancaster County Brewery is set to cease operations by early spring, owner Carol Stout doesn't plan to quit making beer altogether. Music to my ears.
Yay.
I don't think I'm going to retire 100%, she said. At 70 years old, she goes on to say, I haven't told my kids that, but I won't be home knitting. Which I love that. I can totally picture her saying that.
Yep.
While Stout's beers will no longer be available in stores or at the neighborhood watering hole, guests at Stout's Black Angus restaurant or events in the adjacent beer garden will still be able to wrap their hands around a pint of their beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
She goes on to say, I have a two-barrel brew system that I use to develop recipes, and that will be used to make beers for the restaurant until we figure out what the next step is. And we do have the tanks filled, so there's a lot of beer that can be sold for the next couple of months. Eventually, the brand could be revived by another brewer. She revealed that there have been several inquiries already. One
I can
proposal,
imagine. Yeah.
One proposal would never be up for consideration, however, is to sell the brewery to one of the international conglomerates. Thank you, God. That dominate the beer industry. A lot of people said, why don't you just sell to Bud? And her answer was just no.
There you go.
Good
Yeah.
for her. Good for her.
Good for her, indeed.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
really, really
awesome.
excited about this news. This makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
me
think
too.
and we've talked about this before, but the whole thing with stouts is sort of a symptom of the industry as it is currently, and that sort of taproom vibe is really what is surviving right now. So if they had to pull back, like it's great that they're still making the beer, and I think it's going to work really well for them because they have a destination
Yeah.
already. So it's like
Exactly.
people are going to be there and they're going to buy the beer. So that's awesome.
Very much so. I'm happy that that's happening. And it means more reason that I need to get back to the restaurant.
And because it's close to me.
That too.
It's true.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
like a secondary benefit.
oh, shots fired.
Somewhere to crash.
That's true.
That's
He's not
true.
invited anymore.
Not now, you're not.
He can sleep in his car.
It's okay. Just saying, if you performed in New York, I would be there.
Oh,
Shots fired.
Here we go.
More local beer news. Coming out of Pottsville, America's oldest brewery, DG Yingling & Sons, announced the launch of Flight by Yingling. Has anyone
oh, is
seen
that the light
Yep.
thing?
A new
Yeah.
upscale light beer designed to elevate the drinking experience for consumers who want more from their beer. Born from 6 generations of brewing expertise, Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer that will bring even better taste with low carbs and calories to the refreshment category. Yingling is, quote, raising the bar by pouring more than 190 years of brewing expertise into crafting and redefining what consumers deserve in an upscale light beer. With 2.6 grams of carbs, 95 calories, and 4.2% ABV, Flight by Yingling is a crisp, easy-to-drink beer that will complement the brewery's existing portfolio.
Do you want to
of
take
brands.
bets how long it's going to be till they come out with the seltzer?
I was going to say Flight Lime. When
Flight
those
Lime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
that would
this
be
is
next.
like the
Yeah.
first step.
No, I hope it's good.
Clearly Dick is no longer at the helm of that.
Right,
So-
and we a while ago got to interview one of the next generation of Yingling daughters that are going to be taking over, and it was right when they released their Pilsner, which was really exciting because like that's a cool style of beer. They were trying to, because there's a lot of contention: is Yingling craft? Is it not craft? And they talked about trying to get more into that into the hearts of the younger beer drinkers that are into craft beer, and a Pilsner was like a cool way to do that. But now they're coming out with this light lager, and I feel like that's going in a completely different direction.
Well, they already had light lager. This is like
Well,
light,
like a
light,
light
lager.
light,
Yeah,
light,
you know what I mean.
light.
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah, it's
Mick
lager
Ultra.
like branded as a diet beer or whatever.
That's what people want, though. They
Yeah.
want less calories. They want lower carbs. They come in here and ask for it all the time.
Yeah,
You can get a Guinness.
I give 'em
That's
water.
only maybe 100 calories. You're good.
I'm okay with this, though. I think they are trying to make themselves relevant. And one of the things that a lot of bigger breweries are doing right now is they're releasing lower carb, lower calorie, easy drinking beers. And I think this is a smart move because a lot of larger breweries are ceasing to exist anymore because it's either like super, super big is surviving or super, super tiny is surviving. And I think these mid-size, and Yingling's a little more than mid-size, but I think they're smart to look at the current trends and to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's a
I-
good move. It might not be what we want to drink, but I think
Right.
it's
No,
smart.
I
move.
agree. I mean, they have a lot of money to put behind marketing. I know they look at that, and you look at, like, to your point, it's an erosion of a market, which is what you saw with Bud Miller Coors anyway.
Right.
Hence the grab to buy up other breweries. I mean, we're just getting back though to kind of what it was.
Yeah.
128 breweries in Philadelphia
Yeah.
before Prohibition.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
just the tap room concept makes sense, and it's really been a lot of fun to go through this pinnacle for the 10 years we've kind of been around, starting at it's all distribution to now. Wow, the taproom model actually is completely what makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that such a historic brand is trying to stay relevant and keep up with
Yeah.
the trends. That's cool.
I'm going to tell you, I thought what they did with Hershey's was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I never tried that.
Oh, my
I heard it was real good.
It was solid.
Yes.
I liked it. It was a little syrupy, but maybe that was just where I had the beer because it wasn't
Yeah.
the best of places. But it's cool, and it's a way to have the two local businesses join together and have a really popular.
Well, and I
release.
mean, as a native Pennsylvanian, it kind of warms your heart. So
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hershey,
Yeah.
working together.
No, they did a really good job with it. And you can definitely tell it's being from it's a Hershey. You can tell it's Hershey,
Hershey
chocolate. You
chocolate,
can totally
yeah.
do that.
And
That's
the
cool.
best part was you didn't have to peel the foil off the chocolate.
yeah,
There in the glass.
I
did
and
that
it got
for
you
you.
drunk.
I actually feel
got
bad
you
for the
drunk.
big guys, and I have from the beginning. And it's like because you're kind of locked into like we have to make this beer. It has to taste the same all the time, everywhere. To me, the fun of all this, why I wanted to start this was it's home brewer taken to the next level.
Yeah.
To me, it's just that ability to keep doing that no matter how big your tanks are, and you get to do that. The more tap rooms you open, the more you get to do that, and that's what people want anyway. So.
Yeah.
But that being said, every time that you have a missionary, it tastes like missionary. Every time you have
I-
a buck, it tastes like buck.
I
Right.
understand that.
Yeah.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it is. It is. And I mean,
I'm very defensive right now.
no, it is. And there are. I mean,
It's triggered.
As you
I
should.
didn't mean to. I didn't mean. Yeah. It's
we've all
more-
come across brewers that hide their lack of experience by always brewing a different beer, like never brewing the same beer
Correct.
twice because they can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, definitely, it's a
I
mark
meant
of a
that
good
more in
brewery.
the ability to have a
Yeah,
variety
but to
like
have,
we
like-
do versus
yeah.
just I'm
And be able
always
to-
brewing a
Yeah.
lager
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time.
and to be able to experiment and get immediate feedback
Of
from your
course.
customers. Yeah.
And quality control is that. I mean, that's the beauty. We make it here. 10 feet away, we're serving it. You
Right.
can't get better quality than that. So
I will also say, and I've said this before, Yingling Oktoberfest.
Oh, great!
I
beer.
love that beer.
The Golden Pills, I love
Yeah.
that too.
I like
It's
the
so
Pils.
good.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's a bar around the corner from work that we go to for happy hour pretty regularly, and they always have $3 Yingling, and that's the only thing I'll drink there.
Yeah.
And they have other beer, they have craft beer, but there's just something nice about just going around the corner from work, getting a local beer at a good price.
For $3, yeah.
For three,
Yeah.
Yeah,
$3
for
bucks,
$3. Yeah, I'll take it.
That's about my allowance. I get about 4,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm good. You know?
Flight is going to launch in March, and it's going to be a year-round offering from Yingling. Good for them. But we are here. We are at Naked. No one is naked yet.
Also, Untapped bought Rapier or Bear Act.
Oh,
Beer
yeah.
Advocate.
I forgot to grab that article.
I mean, it happened.
that happened.
You know, it's
a thing.
I just wanted people to know that we were aware of it at this moment.
So we are here. We are at Naked, and it's a fun, packed Friday evening. There's live music here, and I love it. They're starting off with Viva Las Vegas. What was the name of the band?
Mojo and the Helper Monkeys.
Mojo and the Helper Monkeys. Oh my God, I get it. I thought you said Bojo earlier. Oh, it's a Simpsons reference.
Fly, you Bojo. Hoverboards don't work on water.
Oh, that's great. It sounds great from back here. I'm sure it sounds great out there,
Wait
too.
to hear them do Beastie Boys.
Oh,
Seriously.
my God.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, I definitely want to
Yes.
hear that.
I might have to snap that.
Yeah.
So do you guys have live music here often, every weekend?
Every weekend. We try every Friday and Saturday, and then occasional Sundays we started.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys do Quizzo. I know that's a thing you do here a lot.
Thursdays, yeah.
Every Thursday?
Every other.
Every other.
Every other. And then we do bingo with really crappy prizes. People seem to like that.
The best kind of bingo. Oh my God. First casualty.
Kevin just got Sean all wet.
That's the first
Oh
time.
my God! I've been
Only
waiting to hear
time.
that for 2 years.
Maureen, it's not true. Maureen's his wife.
Hang tight, Marine.
He hands Kevin it. I'm the one that got wet.
I think the saddest part of that is none of it landed on the tablecloth because our rule is if you spill it on the table, you have to label what the beer is.
Yeah.
But none of it's on the table.
Right here.
There's some
No,
there.
there's a little bit
Jim's
there.
like,
All
I
right.
leave for 2 minutes and my beer is gone.
I know.
Kevin has to lick it up.
Sean, I am so sorry. I will gladly, if you remove your pants, I will clean them for you. Okay.
Oh my God.
Very generous offer. Very generous offer.
I'm also HR.
Not now. She's also HR.
Surprised this place is still open then.
Not
Oh,
not
man.
now. Like later in the night.
Look
I
at
mean,
him trying to
later-
save himself.
later,
Look
I
at
mean,
him.
Later.
Trying to
after.
dig in
Oh,
that
the
hole
hole
deeper.
gets deeper
I
and
guess I'm
deeper
gonna need
and
another
deeper.
beer.
There you go,
After
Jim. Go to the
that.
bathroom
This
again.
is sour.
Yeah, why don't we sip on the sour?
Yeah, oh, sure.
I'm okay with that.
I
Maybe the
have to
New
make
England
room.
I'll
for
take
it.
care of the pour.
Yes,
Kevin.
yes,
That's
I'm-
whatever.
It has been a while since we've been here, and it's always a fun time. But there's exciting news in the world of Naked. You guys are planning to expand, right?
We are expanding.
You are expanding. It's not just a plan. It's happening.
By far, yeah, it's well beyond planning stages. I'm actually hoping to be open in a couple weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Oh, wow. That's soon.
a lot sooner than I thought you would say.
Yeah, I have
Jim would
just
be there
scheduled
right
a
now.
health board meeting, health board approval, or what is it, inspection rather?
For what date?
Friday the 13th of March.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny because, like Jim was saying earlier about the tap room mentality and stuff like that. This is where we're going to a place. It's absolutely spectacular. Right on the wharf down in Bristol Borough. A lot of good neighbors, a lot of good places. It's going to be a really great destination. So I am super excited. Been down there helping a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm more like, I'm more demolition. I'm good for demolition.
You're more Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, but
not
I'm
so
Wreck-It
much
Ralph and
Demolition
Jimmy's
Man.
Fix It Felix. So we, but yeah, it's been a
Compliment
long
each other.
time coming.
Yeah, it's an awesome location. It's got great bones, awesome vibe.
Yeah.
It actually has. So for briefly, it was. I believe it was. I go back from getting story wise, whether it was Schmitz or Schlitz. It was a location where they used to
That's
store
one.
their casks.
Oh.
From that. So there's a really old wooden door cooler in the.
Oh, cool.
Which is technically our back.
Right.
Which is the front of the facility. We're the rear lower level of Noble Earth in Bristol. And so that's going to be actually where we're going to move all of our souring production.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's just a really just cool vibe. I can't wait for everybody to see it. It just feels
It's
like
cool.
such
They
a
would
great-
they would ship it up from where Schmitz was down on Gerard Avenue.
Right.
They would put on a ship, put it up to Delaware, and then they would roll them off at the dock and
barges,
just
yeah.
off the barges and put it right there. And they used to distribute Bristol was big back in the 1800s, 1900s, or 1900s.
It's older than Philly.
Yardley,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those
yeah.
good
Really?
towns. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not know
yes.
that.
Bristol was older than Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
When? All right, I don't expect like an exact date, but when?
It
when
was,
it founded?
June 4th, 1498.
I believe it was at 4:38 in the p.m.
in the PM.
in the p.m. But it's such a cool historical place, and it's like a influx of so many different cultures there. It's just I love it. I love everything about the place.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Sean's showing me a picture of it, and it looks like it's got some history there.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
So are you
really-
going to
and
have...
you guys I hope I know obviously we're just doing this now, but whenever you can free it up again, obviously come by.
Yeah,
socially,
definitely.
but we'd love to
there's
set it
more.
up.
Oh,
there,
wow.
too,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Are you guys just going to do barreling there? Are you going to have any kind of brewing system there?
No, at the moment we're not doing any brewing. I mean, eventually we'll be a pilot facility
Okay.
as well,
Okay.
but for now we're just doing the barreling and all. I mean,
Right.
full tap room,
Right, right,
entertainment,
right. Mhm.
all that, and then basically getting some of these barrels out of Dave's way and
Right.
free it up. I mean, we've done enough at this facility, rolling the dice with sours and mixed with clean stuff.
That's
And,
true. Yeah.
it's a little. We've been pretty gutsy with it over the years. So now we're looking forward to actually expanding and being able to do more clean barrel stuff here, and then moving all the sour stuff there.
What is
so.
that process going to be like, moving those barrels from here
It's
to
gonna
Bristol?
suck.
I can't tell
Are you having a
They
little
are
bit of anxiety
round.
about that?
You
We're
can
gonna-
just roll them.
You're going to roll them
We are.
to Bristol?
Dave's
I'm
been
gonna
doing a
stand
lot
on
of
top of
squats
them.
lately. to get his
Actually, we're
weight
gonna
in
strap
squats,
them to
yeah.
Kevin's back one at a time.
I'm gonna be like Gungar Din.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
Have a police.
Actually, we'll
escort.
end up moving them probably with a with a box truck with
Yeah.
with a lift gate and
Well, how far is
and
that?
somebody
from here?
else's back.
Yeah.
How far is it?
it's about 15 miles.
Okay. All
About
right.
20 minutes to get there.
Well,
Still takes Street Road.
Depending on the time of day.
Yeah.
By the bird, probably about 6, but yeah.
Yeah, but until you factor
Yeah,
in like
factor.
traffic.
By the bird in
That's
the
street
PM.
By the bird.
By the bird in the PM.
Yeah.
So what will the vibe be like in the tap room there?
Very speakeasy-ish.
Yeah?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you.
I think we're like
This
that
is
now.
this is
Fair.
it's kind of it complements this place tremendously because of the fact that it's kind of like a basement bar, but you walk
And with a
in
back entrance again.
with we're
course.
Yeah, we're in the rear
we're
again.
212
In the
Mill
rear.
Street in the rear, and
Naked in the rear.
We
We,
like it in
because
the
we
rear.
like it in the rear, but that's
Eventually, we'll be.
all right. I
basic.
tried it once. All right, I'll let you know. Right? Just once, and I didn't like it, but yeah.
This has much more of a venturing into a cave kind of feel. There's a lot of we did a lot of work exposing the existing stone and brick of the place, and the way we did the coloring. It's funny because you walk in, it's all glass. We replaced everything with all glass garage doors and entryway. You come in, it's a lot more organic. We're going to be doing a whole pergola out front, so you kind of like you're coming in from a forest, kind of into a
Right.
cave.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
it gets deeper as you go in, and it's just
That's cool.
It's just an awesome vibe. I love being there. So.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
when
the
the-
pictures
and when-
look really cool. Like it's like I said, it looks like it's got history. It looks like it's going to be a cool room. I really
Yeah.
like the vibe, even just from the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be really-
and when the tide's really high and we get a heavy rainfall, the water comes up. It doesn't come into our place, which is great, but right out to the parking lot, and we're going to be kayaking right from there, literally
Seriously.
out and into the island. So it's
That's
great.
awesome.
And there's so many. What I love about it is just the people. It's like you took a conglomeration of all these Philadelphia neighborhoods that I love, and you kind of mishmashed them together and plucked it out and stuck them in Bucks County. And that's how it feels down there. It's just such a great mix of people. Just so much support from politically and other business owners, and it's going to be pretty much my base of operations. I just love being down there. It's
cool.
it's awesome. So.
Can we
Awesome.
talk about this beer for a
I was
moment?
gonna say, speaking
Sure.
of sours,
I haven't
Dave?
taken
This
some
is
of it
a
yet.
oldie but goodie.
Do you want to tell us about this?
Yeah, so this is a sour pomegranate wheat. For our fruit wheat beers, we do a pretty simple base wheat beer, malt bill, and light hopping. And then for the fruited beers, we go and we add the fruit, either actual fruit, extract, natural extracts, or a combination of both. With this one, we basically took the blank wheat beer, and then we stuck it in with some of our old Brett funked out wheat and let it kind of do its thing in there for a little while, and then we pulled it out, put some palm on it, and here you go.
Pull it out and put some palm on it.
Pull it out and put some palm on
That's
it.
can we name it?
We're writing that
my
down.
God.
Pull it out and put some
Matter
palm
of fact,
on it.
we might need to make
These
the
are all
name of this
gems.
beer that.
Pull it out.
Pull it out and
some
put some palm on it.
Yes.
I love that in the aroma you get the pomegranate too.
And-
It's
Yeah.
you get the sour hits you right away, and then like the more you breathe it in, you get the pomegranate. It's a nice
Yeah.
balance even in the aroma.
It's like a sweet tart.
yeah,
It is,
yeah,
yeah.
that's perfect.
And you know, it's a style that, listen, it took me a little while to get used to it, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
freaking love them.
It's delicious.
It's a little unapproachable
Yep,
at first.
yep.
You kind of have to ease
you know what you
into
do? You
it.
take a sip, let it crush your palate, and then every sip after that
That-
is
yeah.
going to be better
much like
and better
bourbon.
and
I
better.
I was
recently
just
learned.
gonna
We did-
say that, yeah.
we
You
recently
get
did
past-
an episode with whiskey, and I don't
Yeah.
drink a lot of whiskey, and it's
You get past the sting, and then you get all the flavors,
Yeah,
all the
I-
nuances.
Yes.
all the nuances.
Yeah, I admit we
Next
haven't
time
had
we do a
sours
whiskey
out
one,
in
you
a
gotta get me
while.
on.
Yeah,
All right.
a lot of this stuff's been sitting around for it's been aging for quite a while. So
What else do you have in barrels right now?
Let's see. Actually, funking out in some
about your
food grade totes. We have Gentleman, which is going to become
Yes.
Aloha, and this time around we're actually going to fruit it a few different ways. Pineapple for one, mango, and we're going to do a black cherry. So it's a imperial stout that's about 10%, funked out and with barrel aged with fruit. We have the Agar Cannon. That's our Brett re-fermented saison, and then we have our base wheat beer that's getting funky. The other thing that we have actually in barrels is we have some of the Agar, we have some of the wheat, and then we're messing around with our pale ale. It's we're doing a farmhouse pale ale. I went and propped up some Brett and just been sitting on it for a while, let it get weird, and figured that would be kind of cool to, take our pale ale, throw it in there, get a little oak on it, get some funk, and we're going to be pulling that out probably next week for just a couple kegs. We're going to dry hop it with Centennial, and so yeah, you're going to have a farmhouse pale ale pretty soon.
Nice.
yeah, I'm excited about the Gentleman one. I mean, like I said, we maintain basically 10 barrels of each of those three bases, like you said, on Brett. The Gentleman was funny with the Aloha, which is what we've kind of done over the years. It was always it was called, it's supposedly, it's the Gentleman Gone Wild series. And we never got past Aloha because when Brian and I first came up with it, it was like, all right, well, pineapples are cheap and we can do that. The idea was to start with A. We're like, oh, Aloha, awesome. So pineapple.
Right.
And we kind of never moved past that. I'm
Still
like,
an
so I'm excited about being like, doing multiple different fruits and stuff now. So I'm like, I was like, okay, we got this. And Dave's like, oh, let's do 3 separate barrels. Okay, let's do 3 separate fruits. So
Awesome.
yeah, very excited.
So when you guys move the barreling to the new facility, are you're gonna stay and brew in this location?
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to brew here.
And then, but you still be involved in like stewarding the barrels over there.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
doing some cellar work and stuff.
You're right.
Yeah,
But,
the other thing we're really excited about too is with this location above us is Noble Earth, and Joe owns Noble, and they do teas and kombuchas there.
Oh, cool.
So
Cool.
we've been playing a lot with over the past 6 months or so different concepts of kombucha beers
Right.
and how to really introduce all these crazy flavors into both sours and standard beers, and just really just the whole spectrum of everything it means to be in fermentation,
Right.
one level of another.
Are
So
you
it's
ever
awesome.
going to do a seltzer?
There's
we
one in the
got
tank
one
right
that
now.
Oh, shit.
It's literally behind me right now.
It's literally staring at you,
Behind tank
And-
number 1.
and it's
Look at
called
Dave's face. Look how happy he is.
it's called Streakin' Seltzer.
Yeah, just streaker.
Streakin' seltzer.
Streaker,
So
I thought.
Streaker.
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 Yeah.
Streakin' streaker.
Streaker?
The streaky
You
streakin'
did,
streaker.
you did a glitter beer back in the day,
You
too,
did do a
right?
fucking glitter beer.
Oh.
Are you okay?
And we will again.
That's my influence.
That's the pink boot.
I got him to do it
I
easy,
mean,
too.
well,
Yeah.
Well, so the glitter beer, he didn't
I'm
brew
a
it.
huh.
I'm
He didn't brew it. We added it afterward, and it was
Yeah.
for a craft event.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
that
kind of
was-
made sense.
Yeah, we
But
went
the
and
funny
fucked
thing
with
is,
it.
he was more excited about it than anybody else. I don't care what he says.
No, who was
He's trying
most
to hide
excited
it.
were the people who went to the bathroom after they had it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're like, whoa, do I
It's like
need
a
a shot for
unicorn.
this or something?
Yeah. A
Man,
unicorn
poop a
piss.
craft.
So yeah, but seltzer. That's interesting. I mean, it's just such a weird business. I love
Yeah.
it.
Penicillin, that'll cure anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, with our seltzer, we're just going to be doing it in house. We're actually doing a neutral seltzer, so it has no flavor,
So it's
no
just
nothing.
fermented
But-
cane sugar.
Yeah,
For,
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna. Sean is heading up the syrup production.
We're gonna
so,
craft syrup it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a
you
really
gotta put
smart
Oh,
way to
yeah.
approach it.
It's actually
I like that idea.
yeah,
Put some
that's not a
craft
bad
on
idea.
We're gonna craft syrup it.
So what
Not
kind
only-
of syrups are you going to do?
Strawberry basil.
Ooh.
We decided peach ginger.
Ginger
Ooh.
peach.
Got to do
yeah.
a citrus one because everybody wants citrus. I'm
Yeah.
thinking blood orange because that's
Yeah.
fun.
Cara.
And not only that,
Care,
I want
yeah.
to do it for the
Care.
summertime. I want to do some snow cones, do some
Yeah.
hard snow cone seltzers.
And they're all yellow.
Oh.
And then the
of course.
They're all yellow.
what was
That's
it?
perfect.
Should I talk about what we might be doing with? some
Yes,
of the-
you should.
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
Breaking
Yeah, I mean,
news.
other people
Whatever,
make
we're gonna do it.
We're gonna make a hard cold brew.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna take some of the seltzer before we carb it up, and we're pairing up with friends of ours from Calm Waters over in Bristol. And so we're gonna make a 4.9% alcohol cold brew,
Or
That's
and then we're
nitro.
gonna put it on nitro.
Oh,
That
Oh,
sounds
nice.
amazing, and I
Yeah.
need to be here for that.
That sounds like it'd be
Yes.
really good.
that sounds delightful.
I really like the syrup idea. That's like
No, that's really, really
Yeah.
smart.
Zero Day does it as well.
oh really?
I think
didn't
there's
know
a
that.
few that do it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But
I remember once we went to a brewery years ago that put like syrup in their beers and like
Oh,
had like
shit.
you remember this?
well, I'm
not
sure
gonna
that'll
say
end
the
up
name.
happening.
Like,
Um,
not
Well,
like-
there are
not
some
like
breweries that do
Himbeer
it
for
really, really
Berliner.
well. Like
Right.
Bond Place does their Berliner, and
I
they have the
love
most
Delicious.
amazing syrups. Their lavender syrup is to die for. But this particular brewery,
They kind of made it like, oh, we have 12 beers, but it was actually 3, and they just put like.
It was-
Oh, I
and
wasn't
it
with
was-
you guys that day. I remember
Yeah,
when you
and
did that.
that was not very.
It was not in the
transferring
state
to
of
Randall
Pennsylvania.
from one place to the
Yeah,
other.
exactly. Yeah, so that was not
And
exciting.
not a
But I
brewery
mean,
we've ever
Berliner
reported
Weiss,
at.
that's
Yeah.
common with. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
Brown
That's
Guys does that and all
exactly.
like that.
Yeah,
Bond
yeah.
Place is awesome. Though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
Bond.
Oh.
I love those guys.
Did it all for
Yeah,
the
they're
movie.
great.
Did it all for the movie.
But doing it in the seltzer, that sounds dirty.
Do it
Yeah, it
in the
does.
seltzer.
Write
Makes
that
a lot
one
of
down.
sense.
Yeah.
No, it does. And Sean's going to do it really well. They're going to be bougie ass.
Yeah,
syrups.
when you said
Yeah,
you were
they
doing
are.
like
Yeah,
a when you
syrups.
said you were doing a neutral seltzer, I got really confused and concerned. But this makes sense.
Yeah, with a side of white bread. You know, it's just gonna be
I'm curious. I would like to try it.
Just
The neutral
just neutral.
seltzer.
Yeah.
seltzer. I mean,
I would be curious.
well,
I mean, it has to
it's
taste
made
like
with-
Syrup
something.
water
right now.
Neutral
Right now,
Just
seltzer
sweet.
it
hotel.
tastes like yeast
And
yeasty
sugar water.
I was gonna
Sweetness.
say because not all the sugar doesn't all
Perfect.
ferment out, right? Like it'll
It
still
does,
be.
it
No,
does
no, it
completely.
could.
Oh,
It
does it?
goes
Is that?
absolutely
Oh, so
zero.
it's not going to be like sweet at all.
No.
Oh, really?
Don't
That's
try.
the
I know
whole point
nothing
behind
about
it.
seltzer.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Neither
No,
do
I
we.
mean, that's-
I don't think
That's
anybody
why-
really does at
Listen,
this point.
here's
We're
the
just
big
trying it
secret.
out.
That's why you do it.
Yeah, right.
And that's to me, that's the beauty of it. It's like no matter how big you get, you need to maintain that homebrew vibe.
Right.
That's just to me, it's just the fun of it. It's just,
Yeah,
Hey, give it
definitely.
a shot. What the hell's the worst that can happen?
That's cool.
Now, you guys mentioned briefly the Pink Boots Society, and Sean, you're very involved in that. You
Yes.
want to talk about that?
Sure. And you guys are going to do the podcast, I
Yes,
Yes,
we are
we
recording
are.
at
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
Bold
Yeah.
Women in
Bold
Beer
Women in
at
Beer
Love
Fest.
City in May. I'm super excited that
Yeah,
we'll be there.
I'm really excited. Thank you guys for so much for doing that.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
absolutely.
It's our second year. Really
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
at Love City. Aaron and I started going to Beer de Femme down in North Carolina, and that's where we got the idea, and we kind of like stole it, and we were like, we want to bring this up here. So where can we do it for free, basically,
Right.
because we had no money. And we got to talk to Melissa and Mo from Love City, who are great, and we used their, oh my God, Kevin, did he drop another thing?
He's just
Kevin
knocking
just dropped
everything
his-
over.
Kevin dropped his
This is
headphones.
payback
Well, look
for when
at
I
him.
almost blew out his ears earlier when I was changing his headphones.
So they offered us their parking lot. So this is our second year there, and I'm really excited.
That's cool.
We just get a lot of... So we reach out to Pink Boots members in the area first, and they get first choice to come pour there. And then we put it out after that, whoever wants to sign up. Last year we brewed a beer especially for it. This year there's so much going on, we're not. But we're going to be there. Kevin's wife joined Pink Boots Society, so we are majority women-owned here now. And so she'll be pouring along with Sarah, one of our bartenders, who is a Pink Boots member. So I'm excited for it.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, we want to get all the women joining. That's
Yeah, I
fun.
hope so. Our big brew day is next week at Triple Bottom on Thursday. So once a year we try, one brewery does their huge brew day. This year it's Triple Bottom. Last year it was Love City. and we all go, and you throw the hops. It's basically you stand around and drink.
Yeah, that's
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 what you
usually
do.
what that means. Yeah.
Through hops.
Collab brew
I
day.
collabed. I collabed. Look at me.
It
Yeah.
is. It's
I brought
ridiculous.
donuts.
You
If you're
showed
Dan, you
up,
just squeegee.
collabed. Yeah, we make him squeegee whenever we brew.
Oh no, I volunteered to squeegee.
Well, I'll just squeegee. I'll be over
Volunteer.
here.
And that's incredibly important.
It is.
That's
Fucking right.
understood. It's
Yeah.
like painting. It's all about prep. It's all about
Yeah.
cleaning brewing. It's all. Yeah.
It's true.
So
That's
true.
true. That water's got to go somewhere.
Exactly.
So what beer are you guys doing for the collab?
Oh, we're just going there, and we're just going to be part of it. Well, there you mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
what
what are they?
beer
I don't even know.
you
I
don't
don't even
know.
know. Horrible. I
It'll
should
be a
probably
surprise.
been prepared.
we're gonna do a grisette though.
We are. We're going to do something in house, but after the fact, because we have so much going on right now. So Casey, who's going to be our new production assistant brewer, he has like a really cool little homebrew system that he's going to bring in, and we're just going to do a few barrels just to sell, and then all the proceeds will go to Pink Boots for scholarships for women.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll share this one with Dan. There's no way I'm drinking this much of a hazy IPA.
I'm not a hazy IPA person either. I love IPAs. I just don't.
I love IPAs. I don't like
Me neither.
these kinds. But
I appreciate them,
please
but
the people.
yeah.
So should we talk about this?
That's because you're a
Yes.
purist.
Yeah.
I am a purist.
This is the obligatory.
Let's talk about it.
That's the
Dave,
nice way of putting it.
Tell us
Dave-
about this juicy looking John.
That's a good way to put it. Are we allowed to say John, or is it Chamonix own that?
They own that. They're going to bleep that out.
Philadelphia owns it.
I
Tell
will
us about
say,
this delicious.
can we just start by
juicy-
saying this beer is highly inappropriate.
It certainly is.
Yes.
Also, the name of this beer.
Yeah, I what was it? I guess begrudgingly would be the best way to say it.
I would say kicking and screaming, but yeah. go
Listen,
ahead.
man. After,
no, the
after
glitter beer was kicking and
I was
screaming.
going to say, after the glitter, this is nothing.
I know. Yeah, my soul's sold. But,
Well, you were going to hell anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I told you to read the fine print when you
There's-
signed with us.
there is no hell. There is no heaven. We're fine.
So
in
is
limbo-
this,
in limbo.
it's a New England hazy IPA. Is this the only one of that? I mean, it's the only one you have on right now,
It's the
right?
only one. Yeah. Now we
Yes.
mess with it. Every time that we release it, we add a different fruit to it. Version 1 was
we
peach.
change the fruit. We don't add a new fruit to it.
Oh yeah. Actually, that would be
Just
cool.
to clarify.
It's cumulative.
going-
It's like a
it's
fruit
cumulative.
salad.
Yeah,
Just
it's like
more
fruit of the loom.
Exactly. We'll do that. one
Which
day.
we
But I
are going
want
to do a
Dave
fruit
to
of the
dress
loom
up
beer.
like
I would
grapes.
definitely be the apple.
I want Dave to be the grapes.
Dave would be the grapes.
Dave would be the
Definitely.
grapes.
I was going to say banana, but all right.
Go banana.
But this one's pineapple.
Yeah, this one's pineapple. So 15 barrels in a shot. We put 66 pounds of hops in dry hop. We triple dry hop it. You know, that's a
Yeah.
good marketing thing right there.
Yeah,
Triple
yeah.
dry hop.
Dry hopped.
All Citra. 40,
Austin Miller.
People
44
say
pounds of pineapple.
TDH, because I know a lot of DDH, like double dry hopped. It says DDH.
I know, that's so passe, man.
I
We're
know.
we're
past that. I don't even
yeah,
know.
we're going to plaid.
You go like
Q.
3xDH,
Gone plaid.
3xDH.
3XD.
It's not squared, it's cubed.
It's cubed. Cubed.
Yeah, so triple dry hopped, and yeah, and fruit it and load it with oats, load it with lactose, and super juicy.
As his face makes him look like he's dead inside.
Well, you know something? It had to be done. It's what all the kids
Yeah.
are drinking. You know what I mean? And Dave and I were just.
And it's our number one seller.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
It really is.
Dave and I, he thinks we argue, we talk. And all right, and it's definitely. I mean, it's what all. There, F you too, but you know, like it's just. And I told him today. I said I
you
would
with
put this
love.
up against any.
I'm just
I mean,
laughing
the
about
big
that.
names. All right, and I'm not going to mention, but I would put this beer up against anybody because it's a good beer, and it might not be the style you enjoy, but it is, like Sean said, it's our number one
It's what the
seller.
kids want.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's what the kids want.
I mean, it definitely checks all the boxes for
I mean,
what.
I don't like it. I don't drink this style, and I give it 1 cap. But
I have to. I have to wear
still.
my Thanksgiving pants when I drink it.
My
let me rate it.
Thanksgiving pants.
It's fun to make. It's beer.
Yeah.
Fucking
no,
relax.
I'm pleased with it.
Exactly.
Don't let it piss
Listen,
you off.
that's all. You just do it well. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well, that's what I was gonna
That's
say.
all it
Like, I
comes
don't
down
want to.
to.
Like, it's not my cup of tea, but I don't want to spit it
Yeah.
out. Like, I've definitely had a lot worse versions of this style of beer.
Yeah.
I would
Um,
agree with that.
yeah,
The
it's-
pineapple's nice.
Pineapple is nice, and I mean for the style, like I think at this point we can all identify like the to style, as weird as that is to say, hazy IPA. This is to style for this kind of beer. Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne. That was a ringing endorsement.
It is adequate.
Don't sound so excited. You're like, can we go to commercial now after that one?
I wouldn't put a fire out with it.
I wouldn't put a fire out.
Jim's about to pour it on your junk.
Yeah, that's what the next beer's for.
What is the next beer?
The graph.
You wanted to get away from this one so fast.
Well, let's save the graph. Should we do the graph before I talk about it or after I talk about it?
During.
We could do it during your
All right.
beer. That's
I'm
actually
gonna
really
mention
good,
the
yeah.
Is it
graph.
before or after your vegan sandwich?
Are they ready yet?
Yeah.
I keep looking.
They are. They're serving.
Does that mean we're
Betty pickup.
vegan food break?
Vegan food,
I think that's what's happening.
Pause and save.
Whatever. I'm just gonna try a little bit. I'm not super hungry, but
Did
I
you
want to try
say
it.
you're going to get 15 of everything?
That's probably all they have.
I think
probably
only
more
bring,
than what
they
they
only
have.
bring like
They came in
like
a Prius.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
came in
Uber
a
every
Prius?
Yeah,
week.
whatever fits in an Uber.
Yeah,
Holy.
which is awesome.
Yeah, I say
It's still
really
waiting
interesting.
outside. The Uber's like, you want me to stay? Yeah, we'll be out of here in 20 minutes.
Well, and that's the thing I was saying earlier, like the like cost benefit of like Ubering around for your business, because that's not cheap. So they have to be able to like make enough money to make that worth it. You know,
I
what
mean, think about what does a food truck cost? What is it? You know,
yeah,
it's-
but that's
it's-
sort of like, well, I guess with maintenance and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what a food truck costs.
I'm going to tell you something.
I'm kind of talking out of my ass right now. If I'm going to be honest
that's
with
okay.
you.
You're allowed to do that. It's your show.
We're winging it. It's your
Listen,
show, yes.
So are some of the food trucks. Trust me.
No, you know what? Like food, it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you got fuel. You got so it is a costly expense, and I can see why
Yeah.
every once in a
I
while.
mean, it's good. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe it's cheaper. I mean,
yeah.
and also because they're it's like it's something that can be pre-made and then just taken and
Well,
sold as is,
every
so-
place has to have a commissary. They got to have somewhere they're set up to produce the food at,
Right.
even with a truck.
Even with, yeah.
So because this is all audio, but I mean, listen, it's like a kitchen prep they put in our brew house. You know what I mean? Like they brought everything and I don't know how they fit that heating lamp in the Prius, let alone the humans. You know, because
No, they do a good job with it. So
I'm going to write down "let alone the humans."
let alone the humans.
I like that. Let alone the humans.
Passing these out, awesome.
We kind of already did talk about trends and your diverse tap board. We kind of already did talk about that. Do you have more to say about that?
I actually think what's really interesting. So I mean, it's been really, from our perspective, kind of starting up. I mean, you guys know our history at this point. I mean, we basically licensed the same time as the Chamonix, Free Reel, Round Guys, Forest and Maine. So we were all within the same couple months of that new group that came up. You know what I mean? You had already had Yards and Philly and Weyerbacher, obviously.
Dock
and then
Street. I mean,
Dock Street's been around for a long time. And then you had your Prism and Boxcar. They were kind of like just our older brothers at that point. And it's such a greght industry. And then B-Gob came in right after us. You know what I mean? It's just been, I still have great relationships, we all do, with all those guys, and it's just such an awesome camaraderie that we have.
You know, it's Jim. It's a synergy. Like seriously,
It
It's like it's. I hate to say it's like a sorority, a fraternity, but it truly.
Yeah, it's good. But it's so strange going through that. I mean, as we all jumped in, it was the Chamonix started at the 15 barrel, and the rule of thumb at that point was, okay, you're getting your G license, you're going to be a distributor, or you're going to be a brew pub. So if you're a distributing brewery, you got to be 15 barrel minimum. That's what you need to do to have a return on for that production size to be out in the market. And then to see how things have changed so drastically, I mean, we were slower growing behind everybody else. Getting to this point, we're like, wow, I mean, this is what we could basically, frankly, afford to put in. And now the industry itself has changed so much that we're almost in a different position. Like, it's about feeding your tap rooms at this point. Going from like, you can hand samples for free and fill growlers to you can open up 3 locations and serve everything manufactured in Pennsylvania for a fraction of the cost of a liquor license. Right. We went, okay,
Yeah.
like sign me up, hurry up, let's open them up.
No brainer.
And it almost is. It's been such a drastic change. Like, it's nice to not be a slave to the distribution grind. You know, we've gone through 3 different distributors over our 8 years of existence at this point, and we self-distribute, and we shoot for less than 25% of production to be distributed to the outside.
Yeah.
And it's nice to not have that pressure on you on one level. And again, it gives you that ability to be as flexible with what we want to produce, not go, I have to make brand X.
Right,
I have to make pomegranate wheat and just churn out
Get it out there
And
on the
75%
shelves,
of our tanks are because that's what everybody demands. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and with the opening of this new tap room, it becomes basically our second best customer, for lack of it increases our ability to have more fun.
Yeah.
Because it gives us more of that flexibility, and it's just and that to me is where everything's going.
Yeah.
Because it is about tap rooms.
And you know what's funny? It's like Jim and I, we're Northeast Philly guys. You couldn't go to any corner bar. I mean, there's corner bars all over the Northeast, and this is what we kind of have here.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I got here 5 o'clock. I'm like, people are just sitting there enjoying a couple beers after work. They're going to go home, and that's what we have here, and that's what a lot of the other places did have.
Well, I mean,
the tap room
exactly.
mentality
I mean, to watch Philadelphia change from the corner bars to where like basically guys left work, had a shot, a couple beers, and then went home, to the. I hate the word gentrification, but it's really everybody's changing over and offering craft beer, and it's just it's becoming a community place and that traditional public house.
Yeah.
And I think that's great for everybody. So
It is, yeah. And I think craft beer has become, like you said, the taproom mentality. It's more about, it's not just about the beer. It's about the experience. It's about the place you're going, what's going on. It's about coming out, listening to music. It's about having bingo. It's about having Quizzo. You know, it's about having that neighborhood bar, meeting people.
podcasts.
And podcasts.
Podcasts.
Yeah. Although we're usually in the corner and nobody sees us.
That's
and
okay, though.
They just hear it later.
And
People
they're like,
think that's cool. Though.
and they're
It
like,
is,
what's
yeah.
a podcast?
I think it's real cool.
Well, I was telling guys who worked at it, I'm like, I got a podcast. Oh my god, that's awesome. I mean, that again, it's like when you go somewhere and somebody's doing a live broadcast. Like it's you guys doing all this stuff. It's like people feel like they're a part of all
part of
that.
it.
That's
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
great
yeah.
thing too.
That's
That,
really
that
cool.
customers have a sense of ownership over their local bar, pub, brewery. So
Yeah, and there is like locals. I mean, it's really, I get the ire on. I don't want to say fairly often, but it's like the pub mentality. You go, you hang out, you talk to people, you talk about sports, you talk about and it's just like, and that's what we have here.
nobody talks more than Kevin. He's like a walking podcast.
I kissed a Blarney Stone 3 times. You're not going to shut me up. Okay?
I think you got part of it stuck in
I
your
do
cheek.
it right there. It's a filler. It's a mower that need to be filled. But it's definitely. I mean, and this is what attracted me to the whole craft industry is there's really cool people, and you can go to any brewery, and I'm going to tell you something. Any brewery in the United States, and my day job, I travel a little bit. I've been to a lot of breweries. It's just cool. You sit down, you talk to people, you learn about the whatever city you're in. Hey man, what's a good place to go? It's just a really cool, welcoming environment. And I think what we do here is probably one of the we're best in class. I think.
Yeah, definitely. And it's cool to see beer kind of come full circle to that. I mean, as much as it's like shaking things up right now, economically and industry wise with mid-sized breweries like struggling and closing and merging and all that kind of stuff. It is really cool to kind of see that retraction to like where your local brewery is your local brewery. It's not like, you don't see their cans on the shelves, in 5 different states. It's like we talk about like ciders in the UK and how it's like this farm makes this cider and that's where you get it.
Right.
And that's it. And it's cool. It's really cool to see breweries kind of come to that point, even though it is sort of like a result of like a bit of oversaturation that everybody has to kind of pull back. But I think it's engendering a more interesting community.
But that's the way the beer was,
Right, exactly.
in the
like,
States,
yeah.
and same thing in Germany, because German beer culture has a big impact on how we drink in the United States. I mean, Sunday in Germany was everybody would go to church, and then they would go to the beer garden or beer hall, and the kids would run around and do their thing, and parents would eat, drink, 2 meals there on a Sunday, and you went to your beer hall or beer garden.
Right.
You drank the beer that was there.
Speaking of kids and breweries,
Here we
talk
go.
about that?
Oh boy,
Man, a segue if I
what
ever
a
heard
good
one.
segue,
That was a
Dave
great
Floyd.
segue.
You're not only a great brewer, you just there you go.
Talk about kids on your brew plant. Want to talk about your insurance going up? What do you want to talk about?
all of it.
All of it.
This is your soapbox.
Does
John.
insurance go up if you?
Well, if
you're,
they get hurt, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but I mean that if anybody gets hurt, you have to. There's an insurance payout. But
What do you think is going to happen when
So-
that kid trips and falls 3 steps down our thing and busts his head on the corner of the fermenter?
everybody points and laughs, of
We're
course.
going to get sued.
You know what?
Meanwhile, the
Back in
parents are
the
drinking.
day, my father would say "idiot" and smack me around and
Well,
then
yeah,
take
my
me home.
dad,
Yeah.
but we're from a different generation.
We're from a different generation, yes.
My dad did. I used to drink beer out of my dad's beer fridge. I mean, we're totally different generation. I guess that doesn't. Yeah, never mind. That doesn't make sense.
You had a beer fridge?
You had a beer fridge?
My dad did.
I lived in a refrigerator.
That's how I knew I
box
was an
growing up.
adult when I got my own beer fridge. That
Jimmy
was
lived in
when
a
I
Frigidaire,
reached
and you lived in a
adulthood.
beer
I lived in my
fridge.
dad's
Adulting.
refrigerator box growing up.
But I used to break dance on a refrigerator box. I did not.
fucking
I
totally
did
wanna see that.
not.
You better drop down to a windmill right now or the worm.
I don't believe that at all.
So shameless plug. Very good friend of the brewery. Break dancer
Steve?
back in the day.
Yes.
All right. And they were the number 2 breakdancing group in the country.
Oh, really?
I want to have a reunion. And I got 3 out of the 4 original Circuit Breakers was the name of them back in 1986.
I love that name.
Circuit
Breakers. That's so good.
Circuit Breakers.
One of them's
so
getting
good.
a hip redone.
One of them's getting a hip
As soon
break.
as
That's
that
what
gets
the
back,
he
we'll be
gets
good to
done.
go.
But we are going to do this. We're going to have a Circuit Breakers hip hop reunion.
And we'll play all the we'll play all
And
break.
that's not hip hop. That's hip.
It's
pop.
hip hop, exactly.
I am every trash day. I'm out getting Frigidaire boxes so that we can do this. Okay.
I'm going to slip them all a Viagra, too, before they go on.
Oh my God.
Just to make the windmill even more
There's something to
interesting.
spin on.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you know.
Like a top.
Like a dreidel.
Anyway, we were talking about a thing.
We were talking about animals and kids in tap rooms.
Yeah. So, we're talking about the tap room mentality and the cool place to hang out in the corner bar. And I mean, a lot of craft beer drinkers are there's a generation of craft beer drinkers that are of an age where they have families and they, when they go out, they have to worry about what do we do with the kids.
Get a babysitter.
Yeah. Well,
Get
and
a
that's the
fucking
thing.
babysitter.
I feel
That's what I had to do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have my 1-year-old's birthday party at a brewery. I went
So
to Chuck E. Cheese. I think everybody should have to fucking do that.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And it's interesting. Do you think that there's a sort of economic advantage to breweries that embrace the sort of family-friendly
Absolutely.
thing,
Like our
but
neighbors-
enough to be worth it?
If it,
I think it depends. I think it depends on
there's
the
a lot of
neighborhood you're
factors,
in.
and there's factors. We don't serve food.
Yeah.
If we served food, it'd be a different thing.
Yeah.
Then, you want to bring your family here and have a lunch or dinner, that's fine. I mean, we have food trucks every once in a while, but we don't serve food. We don't have high chairs. I mean, people let their kids come in here, and I'm fine with that. During the day, we have checkers, we have Connect 4. In the summertime, they go outside and they play Jenga. That's great. But I don't know, at 9, 10 o'clock, do you want to a kid running around screaming while the band's playing? Right. I have people that leave. My customers leave.
Yeah.
It's as
I
much
don't know.
about, right, I mean, you have to be respectful of the people who want to come in, and maybe they want to have adult conversations and not go, oh, shit, I didn't realize your kid was saying
I left my kids at home. I have 3 kids. I have 3 children.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a babysitter.
So we also have you mentioned Quizzo earlier. We have Kinky Quizzo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want a 10-year-old hearing
Yeah.
about dildos.
Well,
and
Dawn,
stuff
our
like
host
that.
from Kinky Quiz,
She won't even start. She's like,
there
"Get
was a
rid of the
woman in
kids."
here with her kids,
Yeah.
and she was like, I can't do this until you.
Until
and
you leave.
the mom's like, oh no, it's fine. They're fine, and she's like, I won't do it.
Yeah. It's not fine. And I agree because, I mean, aside from the fact that I wouldn't want any children listening to our fucking podcast, for one
Right.
thing. There's no reason.
But they're laying on the
For
floor.
that-
They're coloring on the floor.
Yeah,
on the floor.
but you go to exactly, and you go to a brewery, I am unmarried without children, and I will never have children if I have anything to say about it.
I think you do.
But
I'm not having kids. Fuck that.
yeah, but
It's good to
So
know.
when my point is when I go out to a brewery, and then normally when I go out to a brewery, I'm doing a podcast. But if I go out to a brewery to hang out, I don't want there to be kids around.
Yeah,
nothing
I'm in the
against
same-
kids,
right.
Other people's kids are great because you can give them back.
They're adult beverages. Why
But
are there
it's-
children
yeah, it's
there?
a place you
You're
wanna
the
go
one that
hang
you're-
out.
All right, I'm going to get in trouble if I say
No,
They're
here's
taking
what
up-
I think is really interesting. This is the metric I put it against. And again, the tap room is different. But here's what: would you bring your kids to a bar?
No,
Exactly.
We're
I mean,
a bar.
why was that?
But we're a bar. We don't serve food.
That's my
We're a
point.
bar.
Right.
That's my
right.
point. When did it stop that it was become? And again, I love the concept that it's a tap room. It's a public house again, and I have no problem with it. During the day when that's going on, yeah, bring your kids. I think that's fun.
Absolutely.
I grew up in bars in Kensington, pretty much. Most of it's I get it, but it's not an environment that makes sense. And
I mean, we
I
have
have
family
the same thing. I had
events.
3 kids too. We go, listen, we had to go to fucking Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You got to go to Chuck E. Cheese too and serve your dues.
Yeah. But you
Exactly.
know what? And I'm going to be like, I have no children, and not that I'm going to be Switzerland.
Because you are a child yourself.
I'm a
in
child
fact.
myself,
Yeah.
But I can see how a young couple, they got a newborn, they want to go out and have a couple of beers, and you know what?
And they do that, and they come in during the day, and they have a couple of beers. That's fine.
And they go.
Yeah.
But how I look at it is, and I look at the economic impact of this. We have so many bar stools, okay, and we look at who fills the bar stools. And I want someone who's going to drink a beer filling that bar stools as someone who's going to.
I'm not making money on that dollar.
And
soda.
that's where I think and I think
point.
any brewery owner on the planet would feel the same way that we do. Like there's an economic
Well,
impact.
actually, Mike Locke and I from Broken Goblet, because they are 21 and over past, I think, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
We just put a sign up. We're 18 and over on Fridays and Saturdays. And the reason I do 18 is because I actually have customers that have teenage kids that come in and drink soda and watch the band and drive their parents are sitting there drinking.
Yeah, like a
Oh,
younger
and they
DJ
drive
I
that
think
can't
that's kind of
legally
fucking
drink.
cool.
That's
and
cool,
we,
yeah.
and we
But
like
they're
that.
18.
Yeah, they're
Like,
18.
that's fine. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
adults.
Also, having kids, like my oldest is 18. Yours is going to be 18
Yeah.
soon. So it's like my
I don't
kids
want
are
her
like,
here.
Yeah, right. No, I don't want them here either. But they want to work in this business, in
Right.
the industry, and it's. I don't know. It's just it's.
Well, there's also the thing. So I was at a brewery not too long ago. I don't want to say where, but they allowed kids.
Just say
And-
it. Say it. Say it.
The table next to me was a couple, and they had a young baby, and kid was screaming and crying and would not stop. And I don't want to go back there because
Yeah.
I run the risk of that happening again. Like you said, nothing against kids. Kids
It's
are
just
cool.
not. It's just not.
But it's not an environment where
There are places where that's okay.
right.
You know,
and I don't
almost,
think a brewery.
Chuck E. Cheese.
nowhere. You know where it's okay? At home.
Yeah, or Chuck E. Cheese, or a place that's built for
Go to
children
TGI
to go
Fridays, go-
run
But even
around.
there,
Just
other
being
people are trying to
considered a
depart. It comes down to as the
Oh,
parenting.
that's true. Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
parenting.
Yeah, and
that's
I have to say all of this.
We live
like,
in a society.
Yeah.
like you, Wayne. I'm
We have
unmarried, no
rules.
kids, so like I don't know how hard it is to be a parent. I'm sure it's the
Oh, I'm
toughest
sure it's
but
terrible.
most rewarding thing
Yeah.
on the planet.
Well,
but I had
I'm
to.
sure it's terrible. That was not a good thing to say.
I had to
I agree
babysit
with
for all
you.
of like 6 hours at one point, and I don't ever want to fucking do that again. But I understand, like, you want to have a life, but you also chose to have a kid.
Exactly.
And this is a conversation we have all the time. That listen,
Like, why do I have
this-
to parent your kids while
And-
they're at the bar?
and you know
You're
something?
drinking.
We-
and then
and-
who's driving?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that was my next
I
thing.
have a
Besides that,
problem with that.
is
Me
the
too.
liability issue.
Yeah.
It's your
Forgetting all
precious
that-
cargo. You're drinking alcohol, and then you're putting your child in the car.
And we kind of, listen, we kind of struggle with this a little bit because we want to be accommodating, but also you have to be, like you said, you have to be responsible. And a lot of times when people come in here, they don't realize that we don't want. We're like, listen, I don't want to be a dick, but we have to be a dick because what should happen? We're responsible, not you. We're responsible.
Yeah.
Something should happen.
Our insurance, our liabilities.
Yes. Our
liquor
And this gets back to
license,
the other
they
thing,
don't
too,
feel that.
between this and the whole, did we talk about the dogs yet?
No.
All right, we'll get to that.
yeah.
Here's my problem. I love this, and one of the reasons I couldn't wait to come here was to have an open conversation
Yeah.
about stuff because I fucking hate social media. I understand why it exists, but
It's not going anywhere.
It makes me insane
part of
that
our
people sit
society.
behind their fucking keyboards and are
Yeah.
warriors and say what they want.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
if you have a problem, come on in and talk to me. I will always tell you the truth. My dad told me something. He's like,
You know,
you don't want to
I
hear the
just-
truth? Don't ask me a question.
Did you know that? And I swear to God, I have a point. When when they grow rhubarb for commercial production, they let it they grow it out in a field for a little bit, and then they bring it inside to a dark room, and it makes it grow super fast. And it grows so fast you can actually hear it. There's like a creaking sound. It grows so
I've
fast.
never heard that.
Yeah,
I'm going to go buy
sometimes-
rhubarb and
Yeah.
try to grow it. Yeah.
Sometimes
I heard
I
that about
can literally
bamboo.
hear the sound of our demographic for this podcast getting older as we're talking.
Thank God you finally got to the point, and it was a very good point.
It was a long journey, but it was worth it.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah,
Get off my
Get
fucking
off
lawn.
my
yeah,
lawn.
but you
That's
know what?
actually a great name for a beer.
Yeah,
off my
I'm sure it's been done.
Fuck.
Nice grassy saison.
But
Yeah.
so
Okay, Boomer.
Okay,
okay,
boomer.
boomer.
Listen, I'm not a fucking
also-
Generation X.
Listen, I'm going to tell you
I'm
something.
X.
I've been, I got a dog. He's my best friend. Take him wherever I can. But listen, I understand.
There are places where you
There's
shouldn't.
some
Yeah.
places
Well,
where you shouldn't bring a
Well,
dog.
you
I have no problem with the dogs in the tap room. So here's the
Here-
thing
Yes,
that
let's
we're
get
getting a
to the
lot of
dog
feedback
thing.
about. We let dogs in the tap room
Yeah.
for the longest time. Then the health inspector came in one day on a Friday, and I was here, and she's like, "You have a dog in the tap room," and I went, "Yeah. We don't serve food.
Yeah.
Beer's considered a food. 2017, the Department of Ag decided that beer, ice, and water are considered food. Beer, ice, and water.
What?
You're not
Yes.
allowed to have dogs in your tap room. Now,
No one.
That being nobody. Now,
No one.
There's
Yeah.
a lot
don't-
of places that
right.
allow that.
My health
Yeah.
inspector,
Federal
she
law.
said you can't do it. Now, she was kind enough to not cite me. I had to tell the man politely, you have to leave.
Yeah.
We have dog bowls outside. I love dogs.
Yeah.
I foster for a rescue. We're not allowed to have dogs
We
in
all
the
have
tap
dogs.
room.
All of us.
So we started telling our customers, and I asked the health department, can I have a sign? I need an official sign because my customers are telling me that I'm a liar. I have bad ratings on Google, on Square, because I
This
won't
came
let
up at
dogs.
Stick Band
You're not the only
recently.
brewery. There's
Yeah.
other breweries
Okay.
that are in the same.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to John from Free Will because he's like, it's tough being compliant. It's
Yeah.
really tough
Yeah.
because your neighbors aren't being compliant. And I'm not saying our direct neighbors. I mean, just in
The
general.
people, there are breweries that are still.
I mean, good for you for
allowing
getting
it.
away with it. But
They're
their health
dog
inspector.
friendly.
But also, I mean, like here the band right now. I've had dogs in here at 10 o'clock at night. 3 dogs barking. What the hell? What if that dog bites somebody?
Yeah.
You shouldn't bring your dog again.
Again, like your
Irresponsible parenting. You should not bring your dog in the tap room when there's a loud band. Dogs have very sensitive hearing. They're going to
Yeah.
bite somebody,
Yeah.
and then who's going to get sued? I am.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. Again, it's taking personal responsibility for what you're bringing.
Leave your dog home. I
Yeah.
love my dog. During the day,
I hope
mean-
she was pointing at Jim and not me when she said that because it was kind of, or better, Dave. I hope she pointed at Dave instead of me.
That was a collective
Yeah.
point.
That was
Oh wait, I have to say this too. Dave is expecting his second child very soon. He's gonna yes.
Congratulations! Don't bring him
April
into the
13th.
brewery.
Well, his wife is.
Don't bring her. Well,
And she won't be allowed in the tap room either.
for afternoon
No,
she's
she's
allowed.
gonna drive me home.
That's why you have kids.
That's right.
No,
Keep 'em
so,
pregnant.
Yeah, we got
Somebody's
got
got
to
to drive.
Yeah, one more month.
Oh, congrats,
little
man.
boy.
Easter
Yeah.
is when
Awesome.
little guys do.
That's
great.
cool.
Congratulations.
Well, congrats. That's
Dave's
cool.
having lots of sex.
Dave-
Yeah, right.
yeah.
And there we go.
Yep. You know, this makes me think of something.
I can't wait for the
Here
second.
we
Not
go.
the baby. No.
Come on, Wayne. We're waiting for it,
This
buddy. Come
conversation
on,
about
come on.
no, because you talked about like you're just following the law, but the customers are like, no, you're lying, or
Oh, I didn't get on
And
that.
you have the
health
insurance
department
respon-
won't give
they won't
me
give you a
a
sign that says this is
because
the
of
law.
ADA. Because I have to allow service dogs.
Right.
Right.
in
Well, they
here.
could put that on a sign.
You can. I can say no, but they won't
They
because
won't.
they're afraid to get sued. I actually asked the health inspector.
Print out the freaking
I do.
statute or
I
whatever.
have it printed out. I have it
called.
highlighted. People don't fucking believe us
So here's
Yeah.
where
We have
here's-
customers who do not come back here
because of that.
because of that. And
so,
I'm like,
and so here's where I don't yell. We don't yell at each other, but sometimes we
Yeah, you
have
fucking yell.
elevated
Shut the fuck up.
conversations.
We're very loud people.
But yeah. But this is where I'm like,
We started drinking another beer, by the way. What is this?
No, this is more the Pilsner.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
the
the
Pilsner
Pilsner.
again. Okay.
So, but what
Drinking
like,
that
you know,
So
it's,
it
it's
tasted
a
the
very
same,
tough
but-
conversation. Yeah.
No, that's I know. That's anyway. Sorry.
I got to go get something else because we've been drinking the same 3 beers for about a.
I mean, I'm fine drinking the
Do
Pilsner
we-
all night.
Well, we can.
well,
we
yeah,
gotta.
let's keep going with
Well,
this.
do we want to do know your beers?
Do you want to do that now?
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Ah, I didn't realize that's what we had there. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Here's the thing.
No.
Your beers.
No. Know your beers?
Steph, what do you got?
God. So when I saw the tap list, I was very curious when I saw that Naked has a graph. And I wasn't sure
Look at
that.
this graph.
Not as in like a chart, not
Nice
pH
graph.
graph.
No. Well, it's spelled GRAF or sometimes GRAFF. I've seen it both ways.
Yes.
So you guys spell it with double F.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's something we've never talked about
Like
on the show.
Giraffe,
So
right?
before
Giraffe.
we're gonna kind of taste and talk at the same time. So I'm gonna
Okay.
teach you, and then we're gonna taste, and then we're gonna talk. So a graph is a cider beer hybrid, and it achieves a similar harmony between cider and beer, like a braggot would do between beer and mead. So as the story goes, Graph was a fantastical apple-based beer that appeared in the popular Stephen King series, The Dark Tower. The specifics of Graph aren't discussed in detail, other than the incorporation of apples and malts in a drink. Whether by coincidence or direct inspiration from the book series, homebrewers began brewing their own versions of Graph to create a hybrid of cider and beer in one drink. Apple-based beer is a general set of parameters, which leads to a wide variety of interpretations by homebrewers and brewers alike. In some instances, Graph is majority apple juice, talking like about 80%, with a small batch of light hopped pale ale wort brewed and blended in prior to a fermentation that's conducted by a clean ale yeast. This example makes for a cider-forward graph that with a nearly undetectable beer character. Instead, the sweetness of the malt and the low bitterness of the hops add complexity to apple juices, which can mimic the use of bittersweet and bitter-sharp apples that are traditionally used to make high-quality dry sours. Not sours. High-quality dry ciders. Base styles have been all over the map, from pale ales to stouts and lagers to Belgians, to impart different malt characters to the apple juice. As more and more specialty malts are utilized and the proportion of beer increases, Graf can transform into a true beer-cider hybrid drink, though balance still tends to give way to the cider character. Yeast selection can really take things to the next level, with some Graf makers using Belgian-style yeast to impart spicy estery components, or lager yeast to prevent apple aromas from being blown off as they are during warmer fermentations. Some brewers go on to add spices and other adjuncts to twist things up a bit, and even wood age to add some beloved barrel complexity. In the simplest of terms, a Graf is simply mixing apple juice with beer wort fermented usually with an ale yeast. The beer component is most easily made as an extract batch, but homebrewers, you can all grain as well. Perhaps do a small brew in a bag, mash if desired. Fermentation temperatures should follow the guidelines of the specific yeast you're using, and a blow-off system or ample headspace in the fermenter is recommended, since fermenting wort and cider creates quite a bit of krausen. Some homebrewers will ferment the beer and cider separately and then blend them to taste, though there is some debate onto whether or not that still qualifies as Graf.
Boo.
Once Graf has fermented out completely, it can be bottle conditioned or kegged as you would any beer. And a good rule of thumb is to carbonate to levels that the beer style used would normally be, but slightly higher carbonation can be a very nice lighter cider forward example of a Graf. For more information, or if you'd like a recipe to try one of these at home, check out homebrewersassociation.org. So, Dave,
Or call Dave Wood.
or call Dave.
At 976 Love.
Call Dave's Wood.
Okay.
Tell us about your Graf.
Okay. So we did a collab with the guys from B-Gob, and this beer is called How Do You Like Them Apples?
Applesauce, bitch.
Yeah. So from Dark Tower series, the original, I think, reference, it really was just maybe a line or two throughout the series talking about this. So it was a beer like a stout, fermented with apple juice. We got our apple cider from Snipes Farm. We didn't do more than 50%. We did, I'm trying to think, it was probably more like 20% fermented.
Yeah.
With our wort, and then we took a portion of the cider, sulfated it, and then back sweetened our porter apple cider Graf with that. So we did a apple cider and porter kind of mashup with this guy.
Yeah, we wanted to almost feel like you were drinking like a warm cider by a campfire. That was like the ideas we kind of threw around. So there's a little bit of smokiness, some roastiness to it. I really like how this turned
right
out.
up front, you get
Caramel
all the
apple.
beer character, and then it's kind of cool because the finish is like a hard cider.
It is,
so,
yeah.
you get like apple skins, you do get some apple flavor. There's a little bit in the nose, but it drinks a little bit more like a sweet cider than porter. It's not as sticky.
I fucking love this beer.
It's really good. And the first thing it reminds me of a Märzen.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it
Wow.
has that like
Oh,
Yeah.
malty, but a little bit of sweet.
malty but a
Yeah.
little sweet,
Yeah.
like
I mean-
like porter or stout malty, but not quite so dark.
yeah,
like it's kind of got
it's hitting
that.
the same points on your tongue.
Yeah. But there is that apple character at the end that you kind of get that
Exactly.
fruit. Yeah. Really nice. I really like this.
No, it was cool. We what was it? It was a collab that was put together with Visit Bucks.
Yeah.
And what was it? We were all brainstorming on a conference call, and they're like, "Oh, we got to do a fall beer. We got to do this. We got to do that." And they're like, "Oh, we can pumpkin something."
And we're all like, no pumpkin.
No fucking
We can do
pumpkin.
this. We can do
We'll
that.
do glitter, but not pumpkin.
This
Dave's
is
the one
totally
that-
Dave's
yeah,
idea. He's
this
like,
is all
let's do a
Dave.
graph. We're like, fuck yeah. And
like, what's a
particularly
graph?
because Yeah, because it wasn't being done.
I'd never heard of it
And
before.
then, of course, the guys at Big Auburn on the same level were just like, "Yep, let's do it," because it's different.
Yeah, and the guys over there, like, we were part of the brew day. We did the pilot beforehand to go and mess with it. Bub was afraid that the pilot numbers were gonna be low. He's like, "Oh, we're not gonna hit our efficiency, whatever." And then we ended up hitting 7.5, 7.5. We're targeting like 5 something. End product came out to 6, so we're good. Super tasty. I think when you go and you throw out the word graph, they're like, I mean, you get more people that say, "What the fuck is that?" than you do like, "Okay, yeah, I want to try it." It's kind of weird. I mean, considering a lot of people are like drinking beer that looks like you poured heavy cream into it, like nowadays. You're like, "Oh yeah, oh look at that." Hey,
This is
more
Mallory.
beer.
Hi,
Hi,
Mallory.
Mallory.
Mallory has 3 giant pitchers of beer.
She's spectacular.
She is.
But actually, to Dave's point, I love the idea of people. I want people to say, "What the fuck is that?"
Right.
Because
Yeah.
anytime you open up the possibility of a question, it gives you the chance to interact with them.
Yeah.
That's to me is the whole point. It's like,
What the
we
fuck
can't-
is that is a question.
That's exactly right. It's my favorite.
What's
question
up with
of all
that?
time. Yeah.
How about that?
What's up with that?
Yeah.
What's up with
What's
that?
going on?
Cash me outside.
Exactly. All right.
Ooh-wee.
Do you guys like it?
I really
yeah,
like it.
Yeah, it's
Tastes like good.
yeah. So I know you're saying you think it tastes more like or drinks more like the cider than the porter. I think I get more of the porter.
Yeah.
With a very nice cider finish.
Yeah, that's
I totally get both.
yeah. No, I mean it's there. The cider finish we're just it's like done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end. But
Yeah, I
it's
like
like
it.
It's
like
got such
porter,
an
porter,
awesome
porter,
caramel
apple skin,
mouthfeel,
done.
too, in
Yeah.
the middle that
Yeah.
I just love how it
Yeah,
coats.
that extra
like
sweetness
the
from it.
Yeah.
Mid
Like
back
a
of my
caramel
tongue.
apple.
Like a chocolate
Exactly.
covered
Chocolate
caramel
apple.
apple.
That was
Again.
kind of the intention.
Yeah.
Chocolate covered caramel apple.
Caramel
It-
apple sitting
it-
by
We're
a
gonna do it again in the fall, but
It,
I mean,
it says
draft
that on
only
the
'cause-
can. I didn't come up with it.
If we do it,
And then
we
the
do it by
artwork was always
ourselves.
funny.
Yeah.
Not,
I mean, we
not
had-
necessarily
We had
because
more
we
work-
didn't like the whole thing. Actually,
no,
we
it's just a lot with
didn't. We didn't
canning
like
and
the
visit bucks and
everything. And
It was a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
there were.
when I
the
tell you
email
we did
thread
this within
was
like weeks,
long.
we did this for like within weeks. It was
well,
crazy.
Visit Bucks came to us and like do this beer, and they're like, "All right, we want to can it," and we're like, "Well, so that's at least 8 weeks out because you got to like schedule
And
canning."
Yeah, yeah.
And then the canning company never did a graft before, so they had to run.
Diagnostic
Thank
tests
you.
and
Diagnostic
everything.
testing. I don't
Yeah.
know
Oh,
the
on
big
like the
words.
liner.
And,
Yeah.
And they had to make sure that it wasn't going to be a bomb. So
Oh,
then
wow,
that
yeah.
took longer.
It
so we
is the
didn't-
bomb.
Wouldn't even think of
It
that.
is the
Yeah.
bomb.
It is the bomb.
It's
But
the
it's
And
not
then
bomb.
bomb.
our
It's
work
not
changed
a
so many
bomb.
times too. We had to get all this approval because I
Which I don't
wanted
really
them
care
throwing
about
barrels
our
off of Bowman's Tower, like throwing it.
Yeah,
Visit
that's totally
Bucks like,
different.
I don't know. We
It
got
looks
to get
like Jason
approval from the
Kelsey.
historical. Yeah,
It
exactly.
kind of
a little
does.
bit, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
actually, it was great because we were able to get the apples all from
Snipes.
Snipes,
They
which
gave
is
us.
great.
Yeah.
So that was a
we got
huge
their-
I
help.
don't know. The guys at
Cider.
B-Gob, though, we love them. They're
They're fucking
Days
awesome.
is good guys.
are good guys.
Yeah.
They
I like
are.
how he's holding the goblet
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah, I
The
just
broken
noticed that.
goblet.
Goblet,
Yeah.
goblet.
Yeah.
And he's
that's funny.
naked.
Well, that was
And
all
he's
I did.
naked.
Well,
There
it's
you go.
Jason Kelsey. That's their beer. So
Yes.
That's so cool.
we-
Yeah, I love the idea of like a fall seasonal that's not a pumpkin beer. That's why I like Oktoberfest and Märzen so much.
Yes.
But this is like a really cool like take on that sort
Yeah.
of fall style of beer. I really dig this.
Yeah.
And again, it applies over so
Yeah.
long. I mean, even our ginger spice or ginger wheat. Sorry, that we do now. It's not pumpkin spiced anymore.
Pumpkin.
Because that extends the. I mean, because pumpkins come out in friggin' August.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody wants it. You know, by the time friggin' end of September comes around, it's like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Not even Halloween.
It's not even Halloween. We didn't even have Thanksgiving this year. It literally went Halloween to Christmas. I'm like, what the fuck happened to Thanksgiving? Like, goddamn, man.
People just didn't want to put on their Thanksgiving pants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kevin
I
just went
always
to go
want
put
my
his old
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
He ran off to
How
put
was
his
that
second
where he
pair on.
went?
Second breakfast.
Second breakfast.
Did you guys
11
like the
piece?
food?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yes,
I want
I
to
wanna-
talk about
I
the food
definitely
because
wanna-
it
okay.
was so
Yeah.
goddamn
Yeah.
good. Yeah, we went back for seconds.
Yeah. Oh wow.
yeah,
Good.
yeah, we
I might go back for thirds.
got like 6
That's
sandwiches between us
Natasha
right now.
and Brian. They are the
They're awesome.
dockets.
The dockets, meet the
No
dockets.
vegans
Meet the
were
dockets,
harmed
exactly.
Yes,
in
meet
the
the
food.
dockets.
And they're
Unsoul
unsoul
food.
food.
Yes.
So they do Southern cuisine. You got their card. They're
Yes.
amazing, and they're really cool people. I just love their energy.
I love that they
and-
Uber everywhere.
Yeah, they take your food around in an Uber.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
They come in, they sell sandwiches. That freaking mac and cheese. Now you mentioned, I think before we were recording, it's probably not going to be in the episode, but you did mention, somebody did, I think it was you,
Me.
that the cheese was made from carrots.
Carrots. That's what they told me.
Never heard of such
and
a thing.
I never did either. And they
Yeah.
whip it up and then they mix it with some kind of vegan oat milk.
Almond milk.
milk.
Almond milk.
But they used our beer in it as well. I think they used our pale ale in this
Oh.
one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
They're
not
doing
vegan.
a beer cheese.
I gave
No,
the-
no.
Yeah, they got the pale and actually they got the highly inappropriate too. So. Oh,
Yeah,
what?
the
This is
pale
enough
is what they
fucking
want.
beer for you? You had to go get yourself a pint?
Jesus.
He didn't offer
You got your
anybody
Thanksgiving
else.
pants on?
I got my Thanksgiving pants.
Nice.
Yes.
Anyway.
The IV that I had in my arm is going to be coming in soon.
Oh, okay. That's whiskey, right? In the IV?
No, he's not a whiskey. He can't
Whiskey.
drink whiskey.
We,
That's
so,
us.
I like whiskey.
I
Wanna
like
do some
whiskey.
whiskey?
Yeah.
I like whiskey.
We have some
I like
Yeah.
whiskey.
nice local whiskey here.
Whiskey.
Yeah, we
maple?
got good stuff.
So wait,
I
are
don't
you a
have
whiskey
that.
guy?
I gave that
No,
to
not at all.
Jack.
Dan's the
Give it
whiskey
to
guy.
Whiskey guy, Dan?
Very
Yeah.
much so.
I'm very much a beer
Okay,
guy.
what do you have in your liquor cabinet right now?
Manitani, which I just bought yesterday. I did not get to crack it open. I've got a Canadian maple bacon one that I'm still saving around. I have a little bit of Dad's Hat left. And Bastille.
Have you tried
you
the peanut
finish
butter
the-
whiskey
I
yet?
haven't, and I kind of definitely want to.
The Stolen Wolf?
Drank that.
Yeah.
I
That
never
was
got a
really-
full bottle of it. You
when
got
we-
me a little
yeah, the little one.
for
But we had
Christmas.
that with Greg on that episode. I really dug their stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good. I do want to come back to this mac and cheese, though. Okay?
It's delicious.
Because
I'll take a break while you're cooking.
You know, I wish I would have had some, but you ate it all week. Thanks.
no, there's still some in one of the boxes over here somewhere.
It was so
Or where
good.
that came from. Here's the thing. So my lovely girlfriend is vegan. So I've been eating a lot of vegan food lately. And one thing I would say is, like, the vegan meats are, like, really good.
They've
like the
come a
Beyond
long way,
burgers,
haven't
the
they?
sausages. Like
I prefer
can't,
the Beyond over Impossible.
Impossible?
Just because of the exactly.
because of cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, cancer.
Um,
Because cancer sucks.
Yeah.
Fuck cancer.
Yeah, fair enough. But so like they've like nailed that. But the cheese, like I can never.
I can't either. I
have
put
not
regular
had a
cheese
good
on my vegan burgers.
vegan
So it's
cheese.
not vegan.
So it's not vegan.
But you guys brought up carrot cheese.
That's what I
what's in
want to
that mac
talk
and
about because
cheese.
like all the vegan cheeses. Because
Do you
I
want to bring
could.
Natasha in to talk about it?
I
Because
mean, we can.
Want to do
if you
that?
want
When
to.
we go get her? I'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
her.
definitely.
This is kind of impromptu. We were just talking about your food, and it's amazing. And now we have Natasha and Brian joining us. Thank you for
so
coming
much.
up.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
really
guys.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're
So
really excited to meet you guys.
Yeah, this is
likewise.
awesome.
So, gotta ask, are you guys vegans, or you just support the vegan lifestyle?
No, yes, we've been vegan for almost 6 years now.
Hey,
6
all right,
years
cool.
in April.
Very cool. I always describe myself as like the anti-vegan. No offense. I very, very, very much enjoy eating meat and dairy.
Okay.
However, this mac and cheese gives most of the mac and cheese I've ever eaten a run for its money.
Oh my god.
It's
Dude, that
incredible.
mac
And the
and
sandwich,
cheese-
the sandwich is so good.
It's so
I
good.
don't know
So
what you
much.
guys did, but it's incredible.
Oh,
Well,
thank you.
To be
Yeah.
honest, so we make our own cheese from carrots.
Yeah, we heard. I don't understand that process. I'm sorry. How does that work?
Well, it starts out like a regular carrot, and we cook it down.
Like first of all, you give it carrots, right? You know what carrots are. Right? They're
So,
orange.
yeah, they
Remember,
grow out
meat
of
and
the ground
cheese.
like
They
that,
grow in the
you know?
ground.
But yeah, so
fabulous.
we boil them down, make a cheese sauce out of it, and from there we take it and we keep it as a sauce, and then we also take it and make it a solid cheese. And so we
wow.
refrigerate it and we can shred it. And
I like
from that
cheese.
point, we take both cheeses and then mix it with our mac and cheese and then pop it in the oven. So
I've legitimately never ever heard of that before, and it's incredible and blowing my mind.
It's so
Thank
good.
you
so
yeah,
much.
I was just saying before you guys came over here, I've been eating a lot of vegan stuff lately. My girlfriend Jess here is vegan, so she's introduced me to a lot of vegan food. The vegan meats that are around right now, like so good, like all the different, like I could give up meat. I could totally see that happening. But it's always the cheese that gets me. You know, like vegan cheeses I've had, like the flavor's not bad, but it's always like this foamy texture, and they're not like that great. That mac and cheese tasted like that's the first vegan cheese I've had that tastes like cheese.
Oh, we really
like that was
appreciate
so
it.
good. Like I ate that, I was like, "This is vegan mac and cheese." Like
Yes.
that's so good. Carrots must be the secret. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
It took us a year. We actually worked on it. We went through a lot of trial and error with it, and then after a year later, we just kind of said we have it, you know. So
Yeah.
and then we just took it from there. It was really
not to downplay the sandwich because the
Yeah.
sandwich was really
sandwich
good
Oh,
too.
thank
Yeah.
you. We appreciate it.
So if people want to have your mac and cheese, how can they get it?
So we do this event every Thursday between 5 and 8 p.m. on Point
1417 Point Breeze Avenue in South Philly.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So it's not far from
look at
us.
that.
We live very near there.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, every
every
Thursday,
Thursday.
from 5 to 8 o'clock, we're there vending our vegan food. We have a rotating menu. For the past 2 weeks, we did a full vegan buffet.
Oh,
And we
wow.
have other vegan vendors along with us selling food and different products.
like lotion,
Yeah.
soaps, and things
And
like that.
yeah, so we do that every Thursday. We always have our mac and cheese, so anybody who wants to try it can definitely come out and have it.
That's fabulous. So you guys on social media that people can find you?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're on Instagram at Meet the Dockets, but we're also on Instagram as Unsold Food, so you can do either one of those.
That's
Yeah.
Unsoul, like UNSOUL.
Yeah.
Kind of a play on words
Oh,
there.
yeah, play on soul food. That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
we,
cool.
and we met them at Noble Earth. You guys came in
I'm
a
sorry?
couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
So,
and I think I should mention the secret to our pub cheese that we put on the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Is the pale ale from Naked
Oh,
Brewing.
yeah, yeah, you guys
So
mentioned
we
that.
mixed-
Yeah.
We mixed the our normal cheese sauce, but we added the pale ale, and we also added the
highly
highly inappropriate.
Oh, no,
yes.
Yeah.
We had, of course, we had to
Highly
taste test it
inappropriate.
before we added it.
yeah.
But it was so good, and we did about 30% of the pale ale, and the majority was the rest of
She's the highly inappropriate.
the highly inappropriate, and the highly inappropriate like built that flavor behind. It
Nice.
was really
So
impactful.
you get
Yeah.
some pineapple. And
Yeah,
some
it was
citrus
really good.
on it. Oh, cool. Awesome.
That's fabulous.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, it's
man.
nice to meet
Yeah,
you
it's great meeting
Thank
you
you
guys.
so much.
Great meeting
you
for
guys.
Thanks for
having us.
helping our
It was
podcast.
I wanted to
incredible.
ask you one thing.
Uh-oh.
I know we're trying to move on.
No,
That's fine. But so you guys Uber around to sell your food?
Oh yeah,
Is
yeah.
that actually is that cheaper than having a food truck?
I don't even know.
Because I'm just thinking the economics. Because Ubers aren't
So-
super cheap.
No, Ubers are definitely not cheap, especially when we go a long distance. But I think the food truck is more expensive out of the gate. It saves us about like 13 grand a year in the long run, as opposed to owning a brick and mortar. But
Right.
a brick and mortar is cheaper in the beginning, so we're kind of going for that. now.
Right.
And so while we save up, it seems like Uber's the best bet for us. And yeah, I've driven so long. I was on a tractor trailer for a really long time.
Oh,
so
okay.
I kind of just like stepped
Sit
away
back.
from the steering wheel. I'm kind of enjoying the ride for now.
Yeah,
so I think it's
all
more
right,
that
fair
than
enough.
It made me laugh the other day. He popped up. I was like, I'm meeting you here for to give him the beers and all like that for the thing. And he pops up. I was like, is that him in the Uber? He's like, he pops up. I'm like awesome. I'm like, shit,
hilarious.
man, I'm jealous. I'm like, I need to Uber more.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you guys so
That's
much.
great. No,
Thank
thank
you.
you for
Thank
taking
you.
some
Anything
time.
to do to get it done, we're there. So yeah,
Yeah,
Uber is
awesome.
the way.
Yeah,
Thank
awesome.
you guys for
Yeah,
having
we're
us.
gonna have
Yeah,
these
of
guys.
course. Thank
We're gonna have
you.
these guys in Bristol here as much as they want to be. So yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
That's
Awesome.
great.
It was great to meet you
Yeah,
guys.
it was great meeting
It
you
was
guys
great
as
to eat your
well.
food. It was delicious.
Oh, thank you.
Make
Thank
sure
you
you
so
stop
much.
by before you go. We'll put you something to go.
All right, cool. Awesome. Thank
right.
you. Thank you. Cheers,
Thank you,
guys. Thank you
guys.
so much.
Enjoy.
It's that vegan cheese, man. It's got you.
It's the vegan cheese. It's definitely the vegan cheese. I need to let it marinate a little bit. Wayne, are you ready?
I think so. Cheers, Internet, and welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, the podcast trivia segment that loves to pull it out and put some palm on it. Today, we are going to play a game that needs no introduction, although that is a paradoxical phrase because it is in itself
An
an introduction. But regardless, we are playing Libation or Fabrication. This is, of course, a game in which I will tell you the name of the beer, and you have to tell me whether it's real or fake. It's as simple
Put your
as
phone down.
that. No Googling allowed. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, there is no prize, and never has been, for winning Happy Fun Time Games, but there is a punishment for losing. So whoever loses the game is going to have to endure a punishment after we finish the episode that's going to be filmed and shown only to our patrons on Patreon. So today's punishment was inspired by the Graph and the Know Your Beer segment about it. Graph is sort of like a braggot. It's sort of a hybrid between a different sort of alcoholic drink. Okay, go with me here because all I had in the fridge was mead. Okay,
He'll argue with you
I'm
over
trying to
everything.
make the
Hey,
connection.
Kevin's back.
I didn't have any cider
Hey, look,
at
he's
home.
got a full fucking pint for himself again.
Wow, imagine that.
Nobody else.
Welcome back. You'll pick it up
Let's
as we
go
go.
hashtag Kevin too.
All I know is my butt starting to
Hurry up and sit the fuck down.
He's got something important to
You're
say.
being punished anyway.
We'll wait. We'll wait.
All I know is my butt started rattling, and there was a text from Sean saying, "Come back."
That's
I'm
why she
back.
had her phone.
I'm back.
Guess who's back?
From
back
outer
again.
space.
So long story short, we brought a couple of meads that we still had from when we recorded at Rebel Hive. Awesome meadery up in the Reading area. We recorded there last summer. Shout out to them. Their meads are great, and I'm sorry, but we're going to bastardize them a little bit because what I want to do for the punishment is we're going to do a DIY on-the-fly braggot.
Nice.
And we're just going to mix some flavored beads with some random beers and try to make it as gross as possible, and whoever loses the game is going to have to drink it.
Oh God.
So that's what's on the line.
Actual
God.
mead.
There you go.
Mexual mead.
Mexual mead.
That's right there.
So after all of that, we will begin in time, honor, tradition to my left with Dave, and you need to tell me, is this a real beer or is it fake? This one is called Orange Yuzu Glad I Said Porter.
That's a real beer name.
Saying that is real, Kevin.
Same question.
Yeah, same question. Maybe if you were here for the whole introduction, you would know it's happening.
I'm sorry, I missed the
Is it
instruction.
real or a fake name?
I'm gonna go with Dave. I think it's real.
All right, saying real as well, Jim.
That's a real name.
Also saying real, Sean.
Sure, real.
Everybody's saying real so far. Everybody seems confident. Agree, disagree?
Fake.
Oh, Dan bucking the trend, saying fake.
I don't know. Dave seemed pretty confident. I'm saying real.
Everybody's saying real. Dan is the only one who's wrong because it is, in fact, real. Orange Yuzu Glad I Said Porter is a 5% ABV porter by McKellar that is brewed in Belgium and made with yuzu, wheat, and lactose. They describe the flavor as sweet yuzu with notes of orange and coffee. Yuzu, in case you didn't know, is a citrus fruit believed to have originated in central China, much like the coronavirus, as a hybrid of mandarin orange and the Yichang papeda. I don't know what that is.
It's papeda.
Papeda? Thank you.
The pyridial.
Ugly fruit. Yes. I read that on Wikipedia. They also make a seasonal version of the beer that is aged in Grand Marnier barrels. So that sounds interesting. Yes.
Ooh, fancy schmancy.
Fancy schmancy,
how
also
expensive
real.
that is.
I know, right? Moving on to our next beer of the game, and Kevin is going to guess first on this one. Is this real or fake? This
Fake.
beer is called Not Today, Satan.
That's real.
All right, saying
That's
that is
definitely real. That's definitely real.
All right, also saying real.
I'll bet the house on that one.
Wow. Such
Wow, you seem
confidence
confident.
so far. Yeah.
He gets around too.
I will tell you that a good idea is that if you know for sure,
Pretend you don't know.
have a poker face, or everybody's just going to guess the same thing.
I'm going to say real.
It's probably an evil genius beer on top of it.
Yeah. That's why I'm wearing a barrel now, because I don't bet well. So yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
You're saying real, and you're agreeing. All right, Sean agreeing. Dan
I'm gonna go real. You were like gung ho for
Yeah,
that.
me too. Real.
also saying real. Finally, Dave.
I'm not giving up my lead on Dan, so I'll say real,
But
my
you
heart
really don't?
says otherwise.
well, your heart is wrong because it is in fact real. Not Today, Satan. It's a 7.3% ABV IPA from Delaware's Mispillion River Brewing. Was released in 2016.
That's why you know.
Had it.
Have you had it? We had somebody from
Very
Mispillion
few you
River
haven't had.
on the podcast, episode 99 at the first Wine and
Yeah,
Dinosaurs.
Wine and Dinosaurs that we
recorded
were at.
That we
Yeah.
recorded the day after we recorded our 100th episode.
That was actually our 100th episode, but
Nice.
you know,
We were so tired.
we fudged the numbers. On the label for Not Today, Satan, it's represented by a brightly colored platypus named Billy in a devil's costume. Apparently, a lot of folks claim Billy from Human Resources was appointed the new Lord of Darkness. I don't know what any of this means.
Sean, that's kind of like you.
It's what they
I'm the
say
Lord
on
of
their website.
Darkness.
Yeah. Well, you're human resources,
Mistress of Darkness?
HR. You're the
Lord of
Princess
Darkness, also a platypus. I mean,
not a platypus at all.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks.
He knows better. He made her
Yeah.
wet. He's got to be nice.
I already made her wet. I'm not going to make her all hoppy.
holy
now.
shit. And now for a game within a game, we're going to play Know Your Meme. Does anyone know, like, Not Today, Satan, Not Today? Do we know what that's from?
No.
So it's a movie quote. Not today.
Oh, wait, not today,
You're
Satan.
close.
I'm close. Yeah,
Close.
I mean, I know it's
It's not a
today,
movie.
but it's
TV
not
show?
Today. Yeah.
The phrase Not Today, Satan, Not Today entered the memosphere in 2014 when uttered by RuPaul's Drag Race Season 6 winner, Bianca Del Toro.
I
Rio.
love RuPaul.
I don't actually I've never watched that show. I'm
She's
sure it's
awesome.
great. But yeah, there's a clip of Bianca Del Rio saying "Not today, Satan, not today." It went viral. It was on T-shirts. It's actually really funny. I watched the clip on YouTube. I'd never heard of this before. So yeah, that's that. Moving on to our next beer of the game, and Jim is going to guess first on this one. This beer is called "Are You Still Riding the Goat?"
That's fake.
Saying that is fake, Sean.
I say fake too.
Also saying fake, Dan.
I agree. Fake.
Also saying fake.
Fake.
Oh, fake. Wow, everybody's in agreement
Is that
today.
a Sly Fox beer?
Fake?
I'm going to say real.
You're going to say real.
Oh,
Going
shit.
out on a limb, Kevin. Going out on a limb, I will tell you, you're the only one who was wrong. Because it is, in fact, fake.
I can't wait to make him chug something.
Actual mead.
Actual mead. So are you still riding the goat?
I thought it was Mexual me.
No.
Mexual mead.
Yeah, no, there's another consonant in there.
Sly Fox should do riding.
They should. Well, here's the thing. It's not a beer, but it is actually a Native American idiom, specifically from the Cheyenne people. They have a fascinating language. It's now highly endangered, and there's only a couple thousand living speakers, but it is also the source of a rather bizarre way of asking someone whether they're separated from their spouse.
Are you riding the goat?
Are you still riding the goat?
I love it.
I was just asked that question in my divorce. That's why I, in fact, knew it was not the name of the beer.
Are you riding?
That's actually the name of the divorce group.
No, Your Honor, I am in fact no longer riding the goat.
But I am paying the platypus.
Jim v. Goat paying the platypus. That was good. Moving on to our next beer of the game, and Sean is up to guess. First on this one, our next beer is called Dunkel Cletus.
If this is not a name, we are fucking making that beer.
Get on the internet right now, TTB.
Saying it's real?
Do it right now.
Call the TTB at the moment. Sean's saying real. Dan?
I'm going to say fake because I want it to be a naked beer.
All right.
I think it's real.
I like that we have some variety in answers for once.
Finally.
It's real.
Also saying real. Dave saying real. Finally, Kevin?
That is
not
too.
finally.
That is too effing good not to be real.
Also saying real.
I agree.
And actually, finally, Jim.
I'm going to go real, even though I want it to be fake, so we can have it, because I want him to be the fucking loser.
So I spoke too soon. Dan was the only one who said fake. And again, the only one who's wrong.
Oh!
Because it is, in fact, real.
Womp womp.
I'm
sorry, Dan.
So
You're
it's a
gonna be
6% ABV,
gonna be
Dunkelweizen,
Yeah.
to the surprise of no one, from the Farmhouse Brewery in Owego, New York.
Oh, okay. I know Owego.
They make good beer.
Yeah.
I know him too. He's a good guy.
Oh yeah, they did.
You're up there a lot.
What are props?
Props to Owego.
Owego.
Shout out to Owego. And do I have any Owegans in the house? Well, I'm glad you've heard of Owego. Not many people on the internet have heard of this beer. There was a surprising lack of information. In fact, when you Googled it, I only got two results. The Untapped listing for the beer, so it does exist, and also the Untapped page for the brewery, and absolutely nothing else on the internet. So it was probably a brief one-off. It was from around 2014 and 2015, tail end of 2014, beginning of 2015, which is when the brewery opened, so it's probably a beer that they did early on. But as for the name, Daryl W. Tony Anthony is a retired American professional wrestler, better known by his ring names Dirty White Boy and Uncle Cletus.
Oh my God.
Active throughout the 1980s and 90s, had two short stints in the WWF under the ring names TL Hopper and Uncle Cletus.
Okay.
For those from the early 80s, the
sounds-
Saturday morning wrestling group.
Yes,
you
I think I actually remember him. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
And how he will always live on in beer.
So that means we could probably still use the name.
You probably could.
I'd rather wrestle you for it.
Actually,
Wrestle you.
interesting fact. So the name of the beer, the Cletus, is spelled Cletis. The wrestler was Cletus. So you could do Dunkel Cletus and spell it with the U, and it would be more authentic.
Unless they
Or Dunkel
actually...
Cletus?
Or maybe they did it because
Maybe
of
they tried, and then
Cletus?
TTB said, fuck you.
Dunkel,
You're not-
Dunkel Clitoris.
Clitoris?
Okay.
That's like foreplay.
Jim's going to play.
We would immediately get,
Aunt
I'm
Labia.
Sure Pink Boots would love that.
I think that'd be a big stop sign on that. No.
How about new?
Moving on.
All right.
Papers
one.
all over the place.
I like this game.
Next beer of the game. This game's fun, isn't it? This is our penultimate beer of the game. Dan is going to guess first on this one. This beer is called... I just went through puberty for a second there. Excuse me. I'm going to take that again. Let's get a clean take. This beer is called Anal Tech Incorporated.
Nice.
Fake. Saying that is fake.
I'm also saying fake.
Steph saying fake. Dave?
Fake.
Fake. Oh, fakes all around so far.
I don't want that job, so I'm going to say fake.
Also saying fake. Jim?
Real.
Oh, taking a risk. Sean?
Fake.
Fake. Doesn't pay off, Jim. It is in fact fake. Now hear me out.
It's okay.
I did not come up with this. Okay. Anal Tech Incorporated is or was the actual name of an actual company.
Was it ANL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a portmanteau of the words analytical and technology, not unlike analrapist.
Yep.
Anal Tech was a manufacturer of thin layer chromatography plates in Newark, Delaware.
Of course.
Yeah.
Which where if God if someone gave the world a
Anus?
iconic, it would go in Newark. So yeah.
Of course.
That makes sense.
You will be happy to hear. You'll be happy to hear that they have since wisely changed the name to Miles Scientific, though it is still followed by the parenthetical and even more hilarious, previously Anal Tech.
That's fucking
So
great.
Miles Analytical, formerly known as Anal Tech.
Yeah. Is that like Beaver College?
That's
formerly
deep.
Imagine putting that on
Arcadia,
your
formerly known as Beaver.
Imagine putting that on your business card. Hello, my name is Dick Hertz. I used to work for Miles International as
I used
an
to.
Anal Tech.
I used to, but
Anal
I'm
Tech.
I'm embarking on a new start. Bazinga. So before we go on to our last beer of the game, we're going to recap the scores real quick. Now remember, there is a punishment on the line. We have 3 people with 5 out of 5 so far. Those people being Dave, Sean, and Steph.
Yes.
Surprisingly. 2 people right
Why
behind
is that
them.
surprising?
Because I always lose.
Oh.
Not you surprising. Steph surprising. Right behind them with 4 points each, Kevin and Jim, in very real danger of being punished. And even more surprising because Dan just wins for some reason all the time. Dan only has 3 points.
Wow.
So if you
get punished.
you better, if you get this right and everyone else gets it wrong, you get a group punishment. Otherwise,
But you get punished.
You
it's
know what?
going to be you.
All right.
You're getting
My,
punished
my
anyway.
answer is
We call that a
whatever
circle
Dan
punishment?
says.
Circle
Come on,
punishment.
everybody say what Dan says.
I kind of like a circle
No, see, here's the
punishment.
thing. Because he's in last place,
gets
we
to
let
go
Dan
last.
guess last.
So I guess first.
So Steph's going to guess first
Okay, look deep into his eyes
and see what he
and
thinks.
just see.
Big
And
brown
you got to
eyes.
come on.
He's like the amazing
There's a
Krusty.
tell. There's a tell.
The amazing Krusty.
Krusty. Hello, Krusty.
Okay, no, keep your eyes closed.
No,
It's
he's
better.
the underwhelming Krusty.
Underwhelming Krusty.
Steph, you're
Yes.
going to guess first.
All right.
Final beer.
I'm
Is this
ready.
real? Is it fake? It's called Old Frothing Slosh.
Oh fuck.
Wow, that's a tough one.
I'm going to say real.
Steph saying real.
That's
I feel like
real.
I hear the music. Boom, boom,
That's
the
all I
lights
hear.
get low.
It's like the Matrix.
Dave saying real. Kevin?
I think it's fake.
Ooh, saying fake. Jim?
Real.
Jim saying real. Sean?
Real.
Saying real. 1 fake, 4 reals. Kevin and Jim. 1 fake, 4 reals. For real, for real.
For real. For real.
For real, for real. Kevin and Jim, the 2
You
with
might
4
get to
points.
chug with somebody. If you
So
get this
here's the
right.
thing. They guess differently. So if you get this wrong, you get punished.
By myself.
If you get this right, you get punished.
I'm taking somebody
with
down with me.
One of them.
Oh, take him down. Take him down. Take him
Real or
down.
fake?
Do this.
It is
Do
called
it for me.
Old with an E, Frothing Slosh.
You have to say
With an E,
real.
because that makes it different.
All day.
Real.
Dan saying real. It is in fact real.
What does that mean for Kevin?
Kevin, you wanted to get punished this whole time.
Actual me.
I think we should
All
get
right,
the
before we get down to that, I want to.
You know something? I think I have some R-balls in the lab. I
Hey,
might have
Dave,
some peppers.
that unemployment line looks
Yeah,
pretty
I mean, if
short
you guys
these
have anything to
days.
add to the punishment, please feel free. But before we get to that, I want to tell you about Old Frothing Slosh because it's really interesting.
Yes, please.
It started out as fake, but then it became a real beer. Back in the early 1950s, Pittsburgh radio humorist Reg Cordick invented Old Frothing Slosh as a joke. He created fake commercials for the beer that he called the Pale Stale Ale, so light the foam is on the bottom. Supposedly brewed by Sir Reginald Frothing Slosh IV at Upper Crudney-on-the-Thames, it was advertised with slogans like "A whale of an ale for the pale stale male." So the local Iron City or Pittsburgh Brewing Company ran with the idea and did a Christmas promotion, and the Pale Stale Ale ended up as the inspiration for about 30 different beer cans created mostly for beer can collectors.
Well played,
And we
Pittsburgh.
probably have 10 of them sitting
probably
in
on the
somewhere
wall.
around. Yeah, you guys have the beer can wall. There's probably a couple of them over there. So the Pittsburgh Brewing Company bought the rights to bottle it. They packaged 500 cases and gave it to customers for the holidays. In it was just their standard lager beer that they always made. Revamped versions of the packaging appeared up until the 1970s. There was a whole thing. They're very collectible. Sometime in 2012, Pittsburgh Brewing Company actually revived the brand and remade Old Frothing Slosh American Lager, but unfortunately, it was only for a little while, and it's not around anymore. But yeah, so
I love it. Great
was it
marketing.
fake beer? Was it real beer?
Yeah.
Was it kind of real beer? And then was it real beer? So
Love it.
there we go. So the score as it stands, we have a fucking German sparkle party at the top, everybody,
Yeah.
with 6 points each. Perfect scores for Dave, Sean, and Steph. Congratulations.
Vroom, party starter.
Just
Holy,
what is mine?
holy
handy?
shit, Jim. You've never gotten a perfect score. This is good.
I didn't get one.
He didn't.
Oh, well, Dave did. No, Dave.
Dave, Sean, and Steph. Jim, however, just a hair shy of being punished with 5 points. Not being punished.
He needs
Safe
it the most.
with 5 points.
So is it us?
Yep.
I love it.
Sitting at the bottom. Getting punished.
Where you like
Take
it?
a knee.
Kevin,
Take a knee.
naked in the rear. That's where he likes
Take
it.
the rear.
Kevin and Dan getting
Crossbeard.
punished.
Time for the punishment.
Time
I
for
need
the
to go
punishment.
get some more beer.
No, actually, the punishment's
We
going to
wanna
happen later. If you want to see the punishment, sign up to become a patron on Patreon. You can watch it. You also get to listen to Last Call. You get
They're
other
getting
cool
spanked.
perks.
This is going to be on video?
The punishment.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
And if you're particularly generous on Patreon, you get shouted out on the podcast, which we're going to do now. Before we get to that, though, we do have 2 new patrons. They're at the $1 level, which is fine. It only costs $1 a month to be a patron. You don't normally get shouted out at $1, but because they're new, I'm going to shout them out this one time. 2 of them, Mark Falcone and Anthony Garcia.
Jalapeno.
Okay, we have to stay focused.
I was going to say $1 doesn't get you a sound clip, but I guess it does.
Yeah, well.
That's fine. We have to stay focused.
All right.
Mark and
and
Anthony,
Way to go, guys.
thanks so
Thank
much
you
for
very
signing up
much.
to become
Thanks.
patrons. We appreciate all of it. But we would like to thank very sincerely the following long-standing, very generous patrons, beginning with one of our favorites, James Lamberg.
I don't have a beer.
Another one of our favorites, Joe Mansell.
You can't really stick your whole thumb in there.
I got to stop saying that or people are going to start getting jealous. You're all our favorites. Jill Chivers.
Cool.
Sean Sullivan.
Hi, guys.
PA Brew Review.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Bodunio.
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party.
Topher Simmons. Poor Man's Brewing Company. I also like whale sperm.
As do I.
Kathy Obashevsky.
I like squealers.
Those as well. Eric Dixon.
Can I have the camera? I want to take a picture of these cans.
Nate Foxman.
Wow, you got some fucked up people on this freaking list.
Brian Mills.
That was a gusher.
Wolfgang Von Cole.
So everything you put in your mouth doesn't taste like that.
Jen McDonald.
Who wants a fresh tickle?
Marilyn Engelman.
It's metal.
Josh Price.
You're going to eat that ass.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Ron McDonald.
Peanuts.
And Victoria Miles.
Hell yeah.
If you want to find out how you get on this list and all those other perks that I previously mentioned, go to patreon.com/beerbusters and sign up to become a patron of the podcast. But Dan, we have some housekeeping.
I'm going to go cry in a corner.
And let's play that.
Not yet, Dan.
Play that tab.
Play that funky commercial, white boy.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
A few years ago, I tried to brew my own beer, very first time I'd ever done it at home, and it did not turn out very well. Things would have been very different if I had myself a Brooklyn Brew Shop beer-making kit. They've been empowering the kitchen curious since 2009, and these beer kits are compact, attractive, and easy to use. And that keeps the space-strapped brewers in mind. You get the same ingredients at home as world-class craft breweries. There's no extract, no sugar powders. Just grain, hops, yeast, and depending on the beer, fun and exotic spices. Each kit comes with everything you need to make professional quality beer in your very own home. And you can even choose a kit for hard cider, wine, or sparkling wine kit too. If you want to get a little more adventurous, they have a new line called Farm Steady do-it-yourself food kits. For cheese, for fermentation, baking, foraging, and more, you get to make stuff at home that you would never think you'd get to do. Bagels and cream cheese, soft pretzels with beer cheese, fresh Italian cheeses, and sauerkraut. And if you visit bit.ly/BeerBustersBrooklyn, you're going to get free and fast shipping on orders over $59. Again, that's bit.ly/BeerBustersBrooklyn.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
Round 2, fight.
Right.
We got more beer.
We do have more beer. We have a lot more beer.
What are we
More
drinking?
beer has arrived.
Mexual.
Spice.
Freckles.
Ah,
Mexual
I thought those
freckles.
two the same. All right.
We should do a Mexual freckles after we taste them. Do it half and half.
Frexual.
A frexual.
So let's
Sexual
do
freckles.
the brown first.
I like the
The
frexual.
frexual.
That's awesome.
This is going to be a frexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, pouring out of a pint.
Oh. You guys are going to like this. The brown. Drink it. Here.
Wait, are we have the Mexual or the brown?
How now, brown beer.
I gave up on dumping in cups, so we'll just all drink out of the same pint glass.
All right, that's fine with me. So Mexual, Jesus Christ.
No, freckles.
No, that's freckles.
Freckles.
Coffee freckles.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Does it taste more like what it says?
Tastes like coffee.
Can I?
Again,
Sorry.
Calm Waters coffee. We use all. They roast their
Calm
own.
Waters, yeah.
Always calm waters.
Yeah, it's always Calm Waters.
Oh,
for
we
us.
have to let them know. We got to order that next
Right.
run.
That's not for the podcast.
Yeah, it's not for the podcast.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Stream of consciousness.
I was very interested in knowing that. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
We have to go. and
Have
do
that
the
be your
thing,
final
order the
thoughts.
It's important to know that it never stops. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Fair. This is delicious. Holy shit.
You guys like it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah.
amazing.
Jim's brain sound.
Fucking, you're awesome. You got a job for next week. Thank you.
Only next
I mean,
week.
I fucking hate it. It's the worst thing I've ever had.
My bed
Done.
used to
wait,
sound
no,
like
you've
that.
got
Now
a
it's my
kid on the way.
brain.
It's the best beer I've
Clean
ever
out your
had.
locker.
It's
I
a.
don't
We have
care
lockers?
if you like it.
We do.
Everybody else is drinking it. So
Here's the
shut
thing.
up.
It's an English style beer with coffee. It's got to be
delicious.
good.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, what? I mean,
It's a
yeah.
fucking no-brainer.
yeah,
Tastes like
this is delicious.
it's
I would drink
car-
this all day.
caramel graham cracker beer.
I
with
wish we had his
coffee.
ground effects on tap. His ground effects
That's
is
coming.
honestly, I think, is one of
It's a
the
Dunkin' with 2 and 2.
that I don't know that dry Irish
It's-
stout though. You know, that's why you wanted to put it on
What
tap
up?
because they were here. The dry
Yeah.
Irish stout. Do you want to
Yeah.
tap it real fast? Let him taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
You
a
guys want to try
picture?
some dry Irish stout?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck
Please.
yeah.
Fucking do it.
Always.
All right.
We want to take all
Let's do
that.
it.
It might be
Calling
the
an
best
audible.
beer that I've
We should talk
ever
about
made.
this.
Okay. 10
The
Commandments?
commandment.
So John Stemler wrote a piece for breweries in PA, and I like to call it the 10 Commandments of taproom etiquette. He called it the 10 pieces of taproom etiquette, but we give him credit, and we actually put this on our tap list. And I have it hanging in the bathroom, and we're going to write it on our wall. So I love John Stemler. I think he is just a great person, period.
Still
And
going strong at his age.
He's younger than me.
I know. We have a running joke.
Okay.
It's like he's younger than me. What the fuck?
So I'm going to tell you something. There was a Mount Craftmore of Philly craft
Oh yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
John would be there.
John and Dom are there,
John,
yeah.
John and
Totally.
Super nice guy too.
He is
Tommy.
a super nice guy,
Yeah.
and he's very,
Well,
very.
that's-
he shares his knowledge, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Which really surprised me, like to read this on like online.
Online,
Like,
it's
whoa.
like, yeah.
Okay, you obviously feel
Okay, Jerry Maguire. You know, like
Yeah.
that's what
It really was. 'cause
Number
well,
three really resonates with me.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
let's
let's read
do
it.
it. Let's go through it.
Number 1, servers are highly patient and skilled workers. Tip them. Talk to them respectfully. Don't make lewd comments or you will be asked to leave.
I mean, be a decent person.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be
Right.
an
Like,
asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
We're all
Like,
human. Don't be a dick.
That's the thing, and this is a rant I was going to go on earlier, and I'll contain it. I worked in restaurants for a very long time, and the idea that like retail work, restaurant work, that kind of thing is unskilled labor is a bunch of bullshit.
It is
definitely
bullshit.
It is absolute bullshit, and there are people who could not last 2 days
Exactly.
in these fucking jobs, and like yeah, obviously
I
treat
made a
them
living out of
well.
it. I'm
Yeah.
47 years old. That's
Yeah.
all I've done.
Yeah.
Number 2, don't do samples of everything. It's a waste of everyone's time, and you really can't get to know beer unless you have enough of it and in the proper glassware. I agree with that 100%.
I do too. I mean, a couple samples are fine. Like, figure out what you want, but you don't need to sample my entire tap board.
No.
If that's the case, and get a flight.
Get a flight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless we're really busy. If we're really busy, then fuck you. Get a
Yeah,
pint.
well, always get a flight. Like if you don't want to, if you don't know what you want and you want to try them, fucking pay for what you're tasting. Like,
Right. I do all
like,
my
fine.
flights in 16 ounces.
Can
Can
I?
that one down? I like
Wait,
that.
are you raising your hand right now?
Can I be the turd in the punch bowl?
Oh, you
Sure.
always are.
So I always am. Thank you.
Like
So
Caddyshack over
I'm
there.
going to tell you something. If it's busy, like I know etiquette. If it's busy, I'm not going to say give me all you got. But I enjoy trying everything you have. And when I go to a new place, I'm like, if it's not busy, like, hey man, what do you got? Load me up, and I have whatever they have, and then maybe a pint or two of what I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So, but there's particular etiquette. Like, if it's busy, that's freaking the rules change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so
Well, and that's what I was going to say. When I go to a new place, either a new brewery that's just
Yeah.
open or a place I've never been, I'm probably going to start with a flight because I want to try. Like, I want to try all your beers. Like, I want to taste what they all taste like. Maybe with a couple
Tastes like
exceptions.
me.
But also, I'm going to buy a flight. I'm not going to ask you like, oh, can I try this?
No,
Can I,
no, no.
Give me
You
like
buy
a
a
free
flight.
ticket. Yeah,
and
I'll
you
buy a
need to
flight.
tip a lot more if you're getting a flight.
Yeah, because it's
I
fucking
agree.
It's a lot of
annoying.
work.
It is a
And that's
lot.
why flights cost
You're
more
right.
money, too.
You're
Yeah,
right.
it takes more
That's
time
a pain
and
in
effort.
the ass
It
to
is.
pour
And we're
insert a
wasting
flight.
more beer as well.
Hallelujah.
'Cause,
Yes.
I mean, you are. You're
And
wasting.
the other thing is, like, if I'm going to hang out there for a while and I get a flight, I'm going to pick out one or two that are my favorite, and I'm
And
getting
get
pints
full
of
pours.
them.
Yeah, I love
Or I'm going to take it home with me.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth about flights. I love the idea of flights for exactly that reason. Like, I want to go in, I'm going to go, all right, we're going to do it, but I'm going to turn around and go, all right, well, I'm going to have a couple pints of each of these.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And more often than not, like Jess and I went to a place in Jersey that I'd never been to not that long ago and got a flight. And there was one beer that I really liked, and they had it in cans. We got a flight. I was like, oh, I like the taste of that. I bought a 4-pack and took it
Sure.
home. Like, that's
Exactly.
usually what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Names.
Yeah.
Shit. What was it called? It
Oh,
was the-
shit, Brewing?
It was
Oh,
the
yeah.
name of the town.
It just opened.
Fuck. I forget
Fuck.
it.
I'll go on while you look. Number 3, well-behaved children
I
are fine.
love hearing, yeah.
75 at the same time, having them there late in the evening, having them stand on tables and railings, letting them color on the floor where people walk, having them try your beer are all not fine.
You know, I agree with that.
Having them try your beer, seriously?
Oh, yeah.
know,
Parents
no.
think it's okay because I'm their parent.
Yeah.
Now, I'm in my house. My 17-year-old, absolutely. Have a sip of beer. I'm fine with that. But you're at an establishment, you're putting my liquor license. Yes.
I do remember actually. I was brewing at Free Will and walking through the tap room because we had our malt out in tap room at the time, like in the early days. And there was a guy that was trying to go, and he's like, "Oh, hey buddy, you want to try this one?" And I almost slapped the beer out of his hand when I'm walking through with goggles and a face mask after mashing in. I was like, you don't do that here.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's my kid.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
my
that
license.
doesn't
too.
change the
No,
fact
no,
that you're in public
get
and
a
it's my
growler,
license.
and then
Yeah.
if you want to go and fuck up your kid, you can.
Well,
That's fine.
it goes back to being a responsible parent. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm all, whatever. We can talk
Also,
about that.
don't have your kid's birthday party at a brewery, even if it
Thank
is
you.
like a
Well,
Even
like
if
a
it-
carnival themed
I
brewery.
quote
I
him
was
like
just gonna
$20,000.
say,
Hey, we have a
Exact
ball
thing.
pit. Everybody,
Best
we have a
one was-
ball
was that
pit.
Even
Mike-
even
Mike
if you
said
have
that-
skee
Yeah.
ball
They
yeah.
lied about a 40th birthday party
And
because it was a
funnel cake
2-year-old's
flavored
birthday
beer.
party,
That's fine.
right?
No, but when
So-
people do ask me for children's birthday parties, I always say that we don't do that, and then I quote them like $20,000. Because if
I mean,
you're going to do it,
for enough money,
for
yeah,
enough,
I would do it.
And I
exactly,
think-
I can be
I'll dress
bought.
up like fucking Barney.
And I think we would. We would
Hey
gladly,
kids, you don't belong here, but what the fuck? I'll take your kids' money.
Yeah.
we would gladly close the place for a week if they want to pay $20,000.
$20,000,
for it.
sure. Yeah, that's fine. By the way, Westville Brewery in New Jersey, and I took home the red ale.
Nice. I
Oh, I
fucking
love red
ales.
ales.
Red ales
spot.
are awesome.
We're doing one of them again,
Yay.
Can we call it Sean?
and we're doing a bitter too.
I approve of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna call it bitter fitter.
Oh, I
That's
love
what we call
that.
miserable guys.
Well, he's a
that I work
steam
with.
fitter.
Yeah. So.
Oh, nice.
Number 4, complaining about not being able to get your growler/crowler filled with something that there isn't much of is lame. We put those rules in place so people can share the experience.
That's just across the board.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And
Also, like I want a 64-ounce growler of that 18% ice.
Yeah,
pop.
that's
like
kinda
seriously, go
dumb.
fuck yourself.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
It's going to
Number
cost you
5.
$40.
Please don't rifle through every single folded piece of merch. You aren't a toddler, and this isn't Old Navy.
That's
Oh,
my favorite one.
Also,
Also,
so funny.
don't do that at Old Navy.
Don't do that anywhere.
If you do that, you've never worked in retail.
You can
It
tell
is
it's
a
written by a
pain in the
parent,
fucking
too,
ass.
which
to
is
have
Everybody
to
should
fold
work
clothes.
retail and should do service
I agree with that.
Yep.
I agree with that. Number 6, why can't people hit the toilet or the trash in the bathrooms?
They
I have
don't.
been hitting the toilet since I was 4. Why can't you? This goes for the ladies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girls
No,
are
I-
gross are worse than guys, and I've learned that with our one bathroom here.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
Every
yeah.
time that I go to the bathroom when we're open, I usually wipe down because of the shame.
Shame.
It's like,
Can
oh
you
my God.
Can you edit that out also?
And they steal shit out of the bathroom.
No,
when
it's
we're
not,
open.
It's not me.
When we're
It's
open.
not me. It looks like garbage.
And any
after a
decorations I have in the
minute.
bathroom, they steal. Dollar store little things, they steal.
Why?
I had to, and I was trying to be like, I'm a chick, so obviously, so I like put tampons and pads because I'm like, oh, this is really nice. No, like one person will go in and take everything. Like you walk in there and all the like, I just refilled that, so I stopped doing that. If you need a
Can we
pad or
put a whole
tampon, come
pack
ask the
of condoms
bartenders.
in there?
I think we should
Yeah,
do
that's funny.
mints that are actually like loaded with hot peppers.
Can we
Like,
call
one
them
day,
condom mints?
Just go and get like a whole like
People
you know,
love to
bowl
steal
full
shit.
of something that's hot pepper.
And you know something? I don't think it's people being hammered. I think just people are sometimes just really jerks.
Yeah.
Like,
They
seriously.
are.
Yeah. I think it's just. Yeah.
It's our nature.
That's true.
Do
Number
what
7.
it is in your nature to do.
Bust your
that.
own trash at a tap room. Unless it is a full-service restaurant or pub, we don't appreciate you leaving it for us when the trash can was 12 feet from you.
This just
There
happens
is-
all the time.
I don't. You know John Hodgman. He's a comedian. He's a podcast. He used to be on the Daily Show. He has this saying that he says on his podcast that I think is amazing. He says, "Be mindful of the work that you leave for others."
Oh, that's
I like that.
great.
Like,
I like that.
Don't make other people clean up your shit unless you're paying them a lot of money to clean up your shit specifically. Like, yeah.
And also, I mean, like, you know, we have a $5, $6, $7 pint. You want to keep it that price? Fucking bust your own table.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I gotta hire somebody to
You
come
need to
clean
come
up
clean up
after
your
your
trash.
ass, and
Yeah.
I have to pay them.
Number 8, glassware. You are that hard up for glasses at home, but you can afford to drink craft beer? Really? This is why we don't serve in branded glasses.
And exactly.
I will
Yeah,
tell
Sean.
you. Well, cheers on that one, because this conversation
Yeah,
started
we
at
all
the very
say that.
beginning of when we all started. What's up? I'll be right out. This all started from the very beginning.
Friend of the brewery.
Yes.
Awesome.
It was like, what are we doing? Oh, we do branded glass. Like, and B-Gob was all, because of course they put all their stuff. It's like, motherfuckers, they had these just awesome goblet
Beautiful
tasters.
They did.
And I'm like, he's like, these fucking people steal everything.
If you're gonna have branded glasses, you just sell them.
You sell.
Oh,
Sell.
it does,
Yeah.
what's sad is it doesn't even stop at the branding. It
Just take
if
a
you have
blank
quality
glass.
glass.
That's why you're
Where?
drinking
I
beer
mean,
out of
Sean-
shaker glasses.
Sean
Yeah.
and I were talking about that
Exactly.
earlier today. It's like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have like proper IPA glasses that have
be
whatever and
wonderful.
they're stackable and all this stuff? It's like a lot of people don't have that in their collection. And they want
will
that.
take it.
Yeah.
There's an old thing about proper glassware.
Yeah.
You may be like, there's
heathens.
Yeah, there's it doesn't matter.
Well,
You're going to drink it out of
that's
whatever. You're
not-
going to
Yeah.
enjoy it.
I actually hate drinking pints. I mean, I actually like proper glassware.
No, proper glassware
I do
has
too.
its place.
That to
I
me,
also,
that's a shaker glass.
It is
Kevin
a
will
shaker
drink a
glass.
good beer out of
It
a
aggravates
jockstrap.
me that we serve in that glass.
yeah. But also, I will drink a
seen
good
them.
beer out of whatever.
I will
But-
listen.
True,
but
you're
you're
right.
prefer-
It serves a purpose.
You're lucky I'm not drinking out of the pitcher right now.
Also,
Do it,
idea.
do it.
Chug.
If you're gonna
Chug,
serve,
chug,
if you're gonna
chug.
serve
We
beer
got
in
more
a
pictures.
special glass, make them put down a deposit.
Yeah.
And if you don't get
I
the
mean,
glass,
I drink. These are my favorite.
It's like in a
glasses.
bowling alley. Give me your right sneaker,
Yeah.
and you'll get a good.
yeah,
You get it back.
And you can
in.
drink out of this
Bartender
you know,
this
spray.
$10 deposit for your
Imperial
proper
IPA
glassware.
glass.
You get it back if you get our glasses back.
Like
you know?
I think we have to, like this disinfectant sprayer. We can like disinfect their sneakers water here as long as they're drinking out of good prop glass.
Number 9.
Maybe look at the menu before you get to the front of the line.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is the
I got
worst.
shut down pretty quick.
Also, when you're standing in line to buy something anywhere at any
Anywhere.
time, don't act like when you get to the cash register, you're surprised you have to pay.
No soup for you.
And I got to spend 10
It's a
minutes.
whiz with.
Come back
Come
one
on,
week.
get it.
Dig my wallet out for 10 minutes like I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen when I got to the front of the line.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I need my credit card? I had no idea. Let me go back to the fucking car.
Yeah, I just got this line because I saw all these people fucking standing here.
Like,
I
what
didn't know
the
what I was
fuck?
doing at all. Yeah, I could be buying a mattress or ordering a beer. I don't fucking know.
I thought I
Number
was gonna
10.
take a piss in this IPA glass.
5 minutes to close is not the time to roll in and get a few flights.
Yeah, that is.
Again, that goes back to our liquor license.
And
we
fuck
close
flights.
at 12. We have to have your asses kicked out of here by
That's like,
12:30.
we're not being dicks. We
Get
need
the
to
fuck
like,
out.
be compliant. Yeah.
And don't bring
Where's
your dog
your
in.
glass?
It goes back to goes
Perfect.
back to compliant.
Perfect.
That's all. And that's the great thing about all it. It's all about common courtesy and respect.
And
And
common
if you
sense.
worked in the service industry on any level, we all abide by this because no one is a better tipper or respectful of people in the industry than if you did that. We talk about it. All of my kids all work in the service industry.
Yeah.
It might not be what they end up doing, but
You
they're going to at
at least-
least
for a
appreciate
while.
it.
Yeah, you gotta- yeah.
My son washed dishes. He's like, I said, what do you think? He's like, it sucks. Okay, at least you know how to do it and
Yeah.
respect what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be in the service industry. Just don't be a dick. Okay?
That's fair.
Well, there's that true. Yeah.
Emerald
Yeah, but you have a
started
special
washing
appreciation
dishes.
for it when you have worked in the service industry because you know that
I mean,
you've
you
been people have been
appreciate it.
dicks to you. You don't want to be the dick to that person.
Right.
I mean,
Well, unless they ask for it.
Well, I mean, then
I
they
mean,
probably then they should be paying you.
Yeah, if they're paying you to be a
Well,
dick.
So just
Unless
don't be a
it's free
dick.
dick.
Right, just don't be a dick.
I mean, you walk into a
Free dick
service.
tomorrow.
Free dick. Free dicks for everyone.
Wow, I'm
I don't
gonna
know why
follow
I'm
that up.
recording that, but
No, if you go,
So you had that conversation with them? So we finished the 10 Commandments. So,
no, if you go to a place where people
God
are
gave us
serving
these
you
15,
something,
10
know.
Commandments.
to live and abide by.
Dave is trying to make a salient point.
I know, but it's going to take an
I
hour and a
was.
half, so we don't.
well, no,
I'm sorry, Dave, you're
it
on.
would have taken about 30 seconds. If
Okay,
that.
go. You're on
Now
your
we're going to
own.
make it longer.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to cut out my silence.
And on the 8th day,
Cut out your silence.
that will never happen.
Fuck you, Jim. Fuck everybody.
Are you going to say your
Are you
point?
done?
Fuck
lo-
you, Dan.
I love you. Is
No,
that it?
My
Are you done?
point's gone.
It's
You
not
just
worth
So
it.
if this
cut it
train
out.
wreck
it.
wasn't enough for
It's,
you, you can pay some money and join us on Patreon next, where we have some mexual bullshit for the punishment. We've got some dry Irish stout that we're
No,
going to taste
no.
on last call. So you can keep the party going if you give us some money.
That's right. Patreon.com/beerbusters.
And we
Now-
might even clean up your trash.
Yeah, there's a possibility. Where can people get naked online?
Facebook.com/N.
Pornhub,
I think that's where it all started, right? You know?
Xvids.
Come on, Pornhub was the low-hanging fruit. You guys can do better.
Just
Facebook.com/N Brewing Co., which I found interesting. That's your
Yeah.
and Twitter is Naked Brewing Co., which I think your Instagram is also.
It's the same, yeah.
It's the same.
I also want to give one more shout out to the folks who are doing the food, Unsold Food, which it was
Meet the
absolutely
Dockets.
incredible. Meet the Dockets.
Good people.
I also
Good
want to give
people.
a shout out to the band. They sounded great the whole night. That was Mojo and the Helper Monkeys. Yes, it's a Simpsons reference. You're welcome. And of course, while you're out on the internet looking all these things up, don't forget also there's beerbusterspodcast.com. Facebook, we are Beerbusters Podcast. Twitter and Instagram at Beerbusters. And please throw us that coveted like and review, and do that for all the podcasts that you listen to. But unfortunately, this does bring us to the end of another episode. And guys, thank you so much for having us back out here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you very much.
You don't often get applause.
I know.
You guys rock.
Thank you.
It's always a lot of fun to come here.
clap
Beers are
hands.
incredible. The
Does
company
anybody
is
have,
great.
anybody have a rose they can throw at me?
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna take my shirt off next. That'll be enough.
Well, somebody had to get naked, so why not start now?
Exactly.
Well, I am Dan Baker, and I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and of course the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
Remember, no squids were harmed in the making of this episode.
Like Kevin's going to be.
Unlike Watchmen.
Wow.
Wow.
Man.
Kevin Squid.
I think you've had it out for me from the moment you looked at me, so I'm a little scared about this one.
We'll see you next time.
Free dicks for everyone.
Yay!
Oh my
Use your
God.
kinky quiz out.
All right, I have to pee.